Good morning and welcome inside FirstEnergy Stadium as we get set to begin a new series this week between the Reading Fightin Phillies and the Binghamton Rumble Ponies, AA affiliate of the New York Mets. I'm Jake Starr. My broadcast partner Bob McCool will be joining myself in just a little bit, and we welcome you into today's pregame show as we get set to preview Game 1 of this week's series between the Fightin Phillies and the Eastern League's best Rumble Ponies. So, Reading last weekend took 2 of 3 games from Portland, which included a 12-inning game on Friday that Reading ultimately fell in 4-3, a 3-hour and 29-minute contest. The Rumble Ponies also took 2 of 3 games last weekend on the road in New Hampshire. So, Reading stays home, continues a 9-game homestand, and the Rumble Ponies remain on the road to continue a 9-game road trip. It'll be Estebanzon Jimenez making AA start number 5 today on the mound, and he'll go against a veteran at this level and a longtime Rumble Pony, Yoander Suarez. So a couple of righties on the mound for each side today as we get set to kick off this week's 6-game series. We're going to take a timeout here on our pregame show. When we come back, we take a little look behind enemy lines. We're joined by the voice of the Rumble Ponies, Jacob Wilkins, for a look into what we can expect from the opposition this week, the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. That conversation with the voice of the Rumble Ponies, Jake Wilkins, is coming up when our pregame show rolls on after this. Welcome back into the pregame show here on the Fightin Phillies Radio Network. Jake Starr joined by Bob McCool on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Game one between Reading and Binghamton just moments away from getting underway. So Fightin Phillies about to take the field, Bob, but kind of welcome you in first of all. Welcome into a beautiful day for baseball. Reading trying to kind of build off the good momentum from last week, and they took 2 of 3. They're going to try to have another good week here against the Rumble Ponies starting today.
Yeah, obviously the competition gets a little stiffer because the Binghamton Rumble Ponies are looking for their 60th win overall in the season after winning the first half title. But again, good pitching can do a lot for you, and the Phils certainly got that in the 3-game series against Portland.
So the Fightin Phils have taken the field, and that'll end tonight's pregame show. We'll step aside for a moment, and we come back. Bob McCool's got lineups and first pitch for game number 1 between the Fightin Phils and the Rumble Ponies.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to FirstEnergy Stadium on an absolutely gorgeous Tuesday afternoon as the Reading Fightin Phils get set to take on the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. The Rumble Ponies, the champions of half number 1 in the Northeast Division of the Eastern League, and off to a very good start in the second half as well. They are 14-7, 59-29 overall. Fightin Phils right now playing pretty good baseball. They are 10-11 after taking 2 of 3 over the weekend against Portland. The game is game 1 of a 6-game series, which will, of course, conclude on Sunday here at Baseball Town. Alongside Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. Let's take a look at the Rumble Ponies lineup in game 1 of this series. Jet Williams, one of the top prospects in New York Mets organization, leading off and in center field. DeAndre Smith bats second. He's in left field. Ryan Clifford bats third, is in right field. Jacob Reimer is the cleanup hitter batting playing at third base, Kevin Parada is the designated hitter batting fifth. Chris Suero bats sixth and is behind the plate. Nick LaRusso is at first base batting seventh. William Lugo is batting eighth and is at second base, and Wyatt Young bats ninth and is at shortstop. That lineup facing right-handed pitcher for the Reading Fightin Phils, Esteban Jimenez.
It's early, Bob.
Get that right.
We'll get it down. It's the 5th appearance for Jimenez. Just the second one he's made at home, and the first since his Double-A debut on June the 22nd. 4-4, 2-1. Fifth appearance. We'll shake the cobwebs out. 2-1, 4.15 ERA, 21 and 2/3 innings pitched. 17 hits allowed, 8 walks, 17 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .210 against Jimenez this season in Double-A.
Well, it is a sun-splashed sky here at FirstEnergy Stadium, and the first pitch delivered is ripped down the third base line and just foul off the bat of Jet Williams, going right at the first pitch from Jimenez, and he rips it foul. Today's game time temperature is 77 degrees, a little bit of a breeze at 2, 3, 4 miles an hour at tops, as Williams has to head back to the batter's box after taking off down the left field line. Williams hitting at .291, having a really good season for the Rumble Ponies. He's got 25 doubles on the year to go along with 8 home runs and 31 RBIs. Rumble Ponies coming off their weekend series. They too took 2 out of 3 in their weekend series. They were on the road in New Hampshire. As Jimenez comes back with his 0-1 pitch, it's up high for a ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. As I mentioned, Williams, the number 2 prospect in the Mets organization. 1-1 pitch is lifted straight up. Shallow right field behind second base. Into the grass goes Nick Dunn, and the second baseman will catch it for out number 1. The rest of the defense behind Jimenez. Henry Mendez is back in the lineup today. He's in left field. Dylan Campbell in center. Leandro Pineda is in right. Alex Pinellas is at first base. And as we said, Nick Dunn, who just made that catch, is at second. Aiden Miller at short. Carson DiMartini at third. And Caleb Ricketts behind the plate. Jimenez then winds and delivers to DeAndre Smith. And that's inside for ball 1.
So Jimenez made 1 start here at home. It was June the 22nd against Hartford. It was a rough one. 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs. Took the loss in his Double-A debut.
He has progressively gotten better in each and every one of the starts he's had since that first start. Actually did get better even in that first start because it was a rough first inning.
Then he really settled in.
Yeah. He comes back with a 2-0 pitch here that Smith swings over the top of. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
So since that Hartford game, the last 3 appearances, 4 earned runs over 16 2/3 innings pitched. That's good for a 2.16 ERA.
2-1 pitch from him. Start and stop. They'll appeal and say he did go around, so it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Drew Buffelli behind the plate today. Chris Cousins, who they appealed, or excuse me, Kaz Cousins, who they appealed to at first base, says he did go around. Justin Sims as at third, and now DeAndre Smith with a 2 ball and 2 strike count on him will step out of the box. Jimenez is right there and ready to deliver. 2-2, swing and a miss. So after falling behind 2 balls and no strikes, comes back with 3 straight to retire DeAndre Smith on strikes.
It's going to be really hard to not slip up and say DeAndre Swift this week. I mean, he's a Philly guy. He played for the Eagles. But good start for Jimenez. I mean, Williams jumped on that first pitch that Jimenez threw, but he was able to get Williams to pop out, gets a strikeout of Swift. And I did it, Smith. And now you got the dangerous Ryan Clifford.
Clifford at 224 in the year, but he's got 17 home runs and 55 RBIs. First pitch from Jimenez is outside for a ball. Right back with his 1-0 pitch. And that 2 just misses on the outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Clifford, the number 4 prospect in the Mets organization. A 11th round draft pick originally by the Houston Astros, but he was part of a Justin Verlander trade from Houston to the Mets.
Well, I guess Mets to Houston?
They're from Houston to the Mets. He was drafted by the Astros and obviously now with the Mets. But Verlander has moved around so much it's hard to keep track of.
Giants now.
Yep, and there's a swing and a miss by Clifford. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the batting average hasn't been great for Clifford, but the other aspects of his game have been solid. He's got 14 doubles and, as I said, 17 home runs and 55 RBIs. It's a 2 ball and 2 strike count to him right now as the left-hand hitter's back in the box. And Jimenez just misses outside. It's 3-2. He's just missed off the outside portion of the plate to Clifford 3 times.
Yeah, none of them have been bad misses either.
So now the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes as he winds and delivers. And a foul tip that's in and out of the mitt of Caleb Ricketts, so Clifford stays alive. Infield plays Clifford to pull. The outfield pretty much around the other way, especially Henry Mendez in left. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And an impressive first inning for Jimenez as the Ponies go down 1-2-3, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We'll take a timeout in the Ready Fight Phillies Radio Network. The Rumble Ponies are no score, and the Fight Phillies to the plate when we come back after this. Here is tonight's Fightin Phil's starting lineup presented by Golden Oaks Landscaping. Aiden Miller back in leadoff spot playing at shortstop. Third baseman Carson DiMartini bats third. Henry Mendez back in the 3-hole in left field. The red-hot Paul McIntosh is the designated hitter today. He's in the cleanup spot. Taylor Bricketts bats fifth. The catcher Dylan Campbell in center field batting sixth. Second baseman Nick Dunn is seventh. Alex Pinellas is the 8-hole hitter playing at first base. Leandro Pineda in right field bats ninth. That lineup is facing right-handed pitcher for the Rumble Ponies, Yoander Suarez.
Suarez making his 15th appearance, 13th start, 5-2, a 3.29 ERA, 63 innings pitched, 55 hits allowed, just 9 walks, 65 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .230 against Suarez. So he's not going to offer many free passes. They're going to have to beat him with the sticks.
Aiden Miller looking to get hot. He is coming off an 0-for-12 series against Portland. And the first pitch from Suarez is swung on and fouled down the right field line and into the first base grandstand from Miller. 8 home runs, 22 RBIs on the year for Aiden Miller. Suarez, 6'3", 225-pound, 25-year-old right-hander, winds and delivers. It's way outside. Miller takes it for ball one.
Yeah, Miller hit a few balls hard last week against Portland, but unfortunately kind of just some bad luck. They all found their way into gloves of Sea Dog defenders.
Now the count 1-1 and the pitch. Up high, it's 2-1. Mentioned that Miller had been kind of stuck in that 234 to 237 range. Seems like for most of the month of June and into July, but that 0-for-12 put a dent on those numbers. 2 balls and a strike. This one lined into left field. Back goes Smith, back and leaps and makes a catch and takes extra base hit away from Aiden Miller.
As we were saying, 101 off the bat from Miller. I mean, it wasn't a great route by Smith to that ball, but still one that I don't like diving into the whole expected hit percentage thing, but I won't want to say that had over 50% expected hit percentage if we're going to get analytical here. So, I mean, just one of those ones. If you're Miller, you got to tell yourself, hey, I hit one hard, I hit in a good spot. Guy just made a good play.
That brings Carson DiMartini to the plate. Left-handed hitter, and the first pitch to him is up high for a ball, actually at the letters for a called strike. In addition to DeAndre Smith in left field, Jet Williams is in center, Ryan Clifford is in right. Nick LaRusso's at first, William Lugo at second, Wyatt Young at short, Jacob Reimers at third, and Chris Suero is behind the plate. The 0-1 pitch is lifted straight up, left side of the infield. Reimer, the third baseman, will give way to Young, the shortstop, will make the catch for out number 2.
Well, both pitchers have made quick work of the first few batters they've faced. That'll bring Henry Mendez to the plate. Mendez did not play this past week and was on the development list, but he's back in town and back in the lineup, and that's, I'm sure, a very welcome addition for this lineup.
Leads the team in hits. He's hitting at 287 on the year, 7 home runs and 40 RBIs to go along with it. Left-handed hitter swings at the first pitch, right back through the box and right back into the hit column comes Henry Mendez with a ground single up the middle.
He wasted no time. It was a slider a bit outside and just got enough of the bat on it to sneak it through for a base hit. And what that does now brings up probably the hottest hitter on this Fightin Phil's team right now. That's Paul McIntosh.
McIntosh 7 for 12 in the series against Portland. And of those 7 hits, 5 for extra base hits, 4 of them doubles and a home run. Hitting at .306 now on the season. 6 total home runs and 25 RBIs. Then we get a timeout beforehand. And this is a pitch.
No, I think it might have just been a timeout.
Yeah, no, he pointed at his wrist as if it's a violation on Paul McIntosh. McIntosh was not set to go, and so it's a violation on McIntosh. He swings at the first pitch, hits it straight up in the infield. First baseman Nick LaRusso will call for it, and he'll make the catch, and that quickly the inning comes to an end. The Phils get the first hit of the ball game. No runs on that one hit, no errors, and 1 man left, 1 complete, and no score in Baseball Town. We head to the top half of the second in a scoreless ball game. Binghamton Rumble Ponies and the Reading Fightin Phils in this Tuesday afternoon, game one of the 6-game series, which of course will run right through the weekend. Great test for the Phils, again coming in at 10-11, chance to be at 500 very late in the season for the first time in a very long time. Going up against a Rumble Pony team that took care of business in half number one and has not let their foot off the gas to start half number two at 14-7 and in first place in the second half as well so far. Jacob Reimer will lead it off against Jimenez as we start the second inning. And the first pitch is swung on and lifted straight up again in shallow right field. Nick Dunn, the second baseman, takes charge and he'll make the catch. Lots of pop-ups so far in this ball game as Nick Dunn grabs his second infield pop-up.
Lots of swings early in at-bats too. Yeah. Both teams very aggressive early on in this ball game. I mean, you got two pitchers who are going to throw strikes, so that means a lot of guys are going to be swinging.
That'll bring up Kevin Parada, designated hitter for the Rumble Ponies, takes one over for a called strike. Parada in his second season with Binghamton, hitting at .255 on the year. He's gotten hotter of late. 4 for 9 in the series against New Hampshire as he beats this one fouled on the third baseline. Reed Brignac, the former big leaguer who is the manager for the Binghamton Rumble Ponies, will chase it down the third baseline. Another former big leaguer down the first baseline, former Philadelphia Phil, among other teams, in Mariano Duncan.
Well, both were former Philadelphia Phils.
True.
One does a lot longer than the other.
That's very true. Reed Brignac there shortly as a shortstop, and of course Mariano Duncan, a second baseman on that 1993 National League Championship Phillies team. No balls and 2 strikes to Parada, and it's over for a called strike 3. Third strikeout for Esteban Jimenez.
Yeah, great pitch too. He put a slider right on the inside corner to the righty Parada. So that's out number 2, and I mean, he looks good. He looks confident, and it's a far difference from what we saw from the last time he pitched here 4 weeks ago, and he looks really good.
So that'll bring up Chris Suero. Suero, a recent call-up from Brooklyn, the high A team, to the Double-A Rumble Ponies. 1 for 8 so far in his time with Binghamton, and the first pitch to him is low for a ball. Suero, the number 20 prospect in the Mets organization, swings at this pitch up in the upper half of the strike zone and comes up empty. It's 1-1. The other thing about it, Jimenez, as Jake said, this is his fifth start for the Phils, is Suero hits it on a ground and a one-hopper right to Nick Dunn, and he takes care of business, and we'll finish the story about Jimenez when we come back, because the second inning, and at least the top half of it, is complete. As the Rumble Ponies go 1-2-3, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We head to the bottom of the second, scoreless in Reading. Bottom half of the second inning is brought to you by Cornwall Manor, an active senior living not-for-profit community in scenic Cornwall, Pennsylvania, outside of Lebanon. Caleb Ricketts will lead it off for the Fightin Phils, be followed by Dylan Campbell and Nick Dunn. Well, we were going to break, and I was talking a little bit about Esteban Jimenez and his progression. And as I said, Jake had mentioned that this is his 5th start for the Fightin Phils, but even in his time at Jersey Shore, he was more of a reliever than he was a starter. He made 14 appearances for Jersey Shore, and only 6 of them were as a starter. So this is only his 11th start overall, and he has just gotten better and better with each one of them, and he's off to a great start today in his first 2 innings pitched. Caleb Ricketts hitting at .218 on the season. He went hitless in the series against Portland as well, 0 for 6 in the 2 games that he played. Heavy left-handed lineup for Al Padrique today. 6 of the 9 in the lineup for the Phils are from the left-hand side, and Ricketts swings and fouls the first pitch he sees out of play. So to Jake's point, the boys decided before the game started, you know what, guys? Let's hit our way on today.
Well, we said he doesn't walk a lot of guys.
Right.
Gonna have to swing the bats.
You know the guy's going to be around the strike zone. Might as well go up there and hack it. Ricketts 0-1 pitch to him. Takes that one just outside. Ricketts lays off. It's 1-1. 2 home runs for Caleb Ricketts, 7 RBIs. Missed a significant amount of time this season after suffering the broken hand early on in the season. 1-1 pitch to him. Takes that one on the inside corner for a called strike 2. A very delayed called strike from Drew Buffelli. He got me once. He will not get me again. It's 1-2. That's up high. It's 2-2. Everybody froze there.
Was waiting to see if he was going to punch him out.
Including the catcher, Chris Suero, who was deciding, do I throw it to third or do I throw it back to my pitcher? Because he wasn't sure either. So it's 2-2. And that's fouled away by Caleb Ricketts. It stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. In case you're hearing some noise in our crowd, Mike, that's not the fan club of Jake Starr, but instead it is
because that doesn't exist.
Well, it sounds like it could be. Tons of kids here today on a camp day, summer camp day here at the ballpark. 2-2 pitch to Caleb Ricketts. Lined into right field, but right at Ryan Clifford. Barely has to move for out number 1.
Yeah, and we had 3 scheduled school days this year. One was unfortunately rained out. So we ended up having 2 school kids. Now we have a camp kid game today. And look, one thing I always give these games is the energy is there. And for early in the day, maybe some people aren't all the way awake, but by the time first pitch comes, you better be awake or else you're in for a rude awakening with all the energy that's going to be here.
Dylan Campbell now bats. And he swings at the first pitch from Suarez, chases it up high, comes up empty. Campbell, 190 on the season. 2 for 10 over the weekend, including a big 2-run home run in the extra inning affair on Sunday. His 2-run home run in the bottom of the 11th inning sent us to the 12th, where Portland won the ball game and won the getaway game on Sunday night. Now it's no balls and 2 strikes to Campbell. Suarez takes a long look in this time to Suero and comes 0-2, and it's a swing and a miss, and Campbell comes up empty. First strikeout for Yowander Suarez.
Suarez about a strikeout per inning guy, 65 Ks, 63 innings entering play today. So he'll get his fair share of strikeouts, but like we said, he's not going to walk a lot of guys, and just a lot of contact outs for Yowander Suarez.
That'll bring up Nick Dunn. Dunn hitting at 240 on the year. And the first pitch to the left-hand hitter is down low for a ball. Suarez, a Venezuelan native, signed by the Mets in 2018 as an international free agent. This 1-0 pitch, lifted down the third base line and out of play. Last year with the Rumble Ponies, Suarez made 21 starts, was 9-5 with a 3.92 earned run average. 1-1 pitch coming to Nick Dunn. Swing and a miss. Fastball up high that Dunn could not catch up to. Suarez not overpowering anybody. 93, 94 for the most part so far on the radar gun with the fastball. Now comes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dunn fists this one into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Dunn will stop there as Ryan Clifford gets over and cuts it off in right center field. The second hit of the ball game for the Fightin' Phils, both of them 2-out singles.
Good piece of hitting there from Nick Dunn. With a two-strike cutter, it was a bit inside, but more of a fight-off swing and got enough on it, deposited into right field for a base hit. See if Pinellas can come up with a big two-out hit.
Alex Pinellas sitting at 280 on the season as Dunn takes his lead off of first. And Pinellas started and then stopped, but it's over for a called strike. 5 home runs, 24 RBIs for the season for Alex Pinellas. That's way up high. He lays off. It's 1-1. Had to be a bit of a frustrating weekend for Alex Pinellas playing against his former team in Portland, and he ended up going 0 for 7 in the series. Glad to see his team win 2 out of the 3. But no doubt wanted to have a little bit bigger piece of that pie. 1 ball and 1 strike to Pinellas. Back up the middle, slow roller towards the shortstop Wyatt Young. He'll pick it up, step on the bag, and that will bring the second inning to a conclusion as the Phils in the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and another one left on base. We are through 2, and we are scoreless. We head to the top half of the third inning. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Rumble Ponies, facing 23-year-old right-hander Esteban Jimenez for the Fightin Phils. Jimenez signed by the Phillies as an international free agent in 2019 from his native San Felipe, Venezuela. As I said, with Jersey Shore, he made 14 appearances, but 6 of them only as starts. He was 5-2, but his ERA was up and over 5. But he has been significantly better and more improved with each and every start as a member of the Fightin Phils. 2-1 with a 4.15 earned run average, and a lot of that came in his first appearance when he gave up 6 runs. As Nick LaRusso swings at the first pitch and comes up empty. Jimenez is right back and ready to go and forces LaRusso to call an early timeout in this at-bat. Russo at 256 with 5 home runs and 38 RBIs on the year. And he takes that one over for a called strike 2. So Jimenez quickly working ahead as well as he has LaRusso, no balls and 2 strikes. Just reaches out to protect and slaps that one foul. LaRusso was 5 for 10 in the weekend series at New Hampshire for Binghamton, including a home run and 5 RBIs. He's got 5 home runs and 38 RBIs on the 2025 season. 0-2 pitch is up high. He lays off. Russo finished the last portion of last year playing for Binghamton, but predominantly played for Brooklyn in 24. But he swings and misses at this one. Strikeout number 4 for Jimenez. Out number 1 here in the third. And I'll bring up William Lugo. So Jimenez with 17 strikeouts in 21 2/3 innings coming in. He struck out 4 of the first 7 batters he's faced as Lugo stands in and takes one down low for a ball. Lugo at 223 on the year. 4 home runs, 25 RBIs after an 0 for 9 weekend against the Fisher Cats, and he fouls this one off the end of his bat towards the Fightin Phils dugout. It's 1-1 Fightin Phillies in their Reading hot dog jerseys for this afternoon game. Same jerseys they wore, of course, on Sunday and do every Sunday here in FirstEnergy Stadium. Swing and a miss. Lugo comes up empty, and it's 1-2. Again, Jimenez working very quickly. Looks in, gets his sign from Caleb Ricketts, and he is ready to go. And he's forcing Lugo to now step out of the batter's box and call timeout. So both batters in this inning have kind of had to step out to slow down Estebanzon Jimenez, who's ready to fire. As Lugo lifts this one into shallow left field. DeMartini back, Miller back. DeMartini, the third baseman, will call for it, and he'll make the catch in fair territory for out number 2. So there's been 8 outs recorded in this ballgame. 4 strikeouts for Jimenez. The other 4 outs have been pop-ups. Excuse me, 3 of the 4. Nick Dunn fielded a ground ball to end the second inning. As Wyatt Young bats, and he takes one a little bit low, I believe, for a ball. Didn't miss by much. 1-0 pitch is on the inside corner. It's 1-1. So 2 infield pop-ups to Nick Dunn, and now an infield pop-up to DeMartini to go along with the 4 strikeouts from Jimenez. And the 1-1 pitch to Wyatt Young is up high for a ball. Young, a .263 hitter on the year. Has a home run and 14 RBIs. Left-handed hitter lifts this one up. Shallow right field. Dunn going back. And that's going to go down as another infield pop-up. Nick Dunn records his 3rd pop-up caught in this ballgame. And the Rumble Ponies again go 1-2-3 in the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd, scoreless. Bottom half of the 3rd inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. You can expect reliable and experienced attorneys who are committed to getting you justice after a serious personal injury. Call Swartz Culleton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. Leandro Pineda will lead it off for the Phils here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and then followed by the top of the order, Aiden Miller and Carson DeMartini. Fightin Phils with the only 2 hits in the ball game so far as they come to the plate here in the bottom of the 3rd. Pineda at 201 now on the season after going 1 for 3 over the weekend. 5 home runs, 22 RBIs. As Yuander Suarez back to toe the rubber and go to work here in the 3rd. First pitch up and in at Pineda. Suarez kind of straddles the rubber before his windup. And his 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Another long look from Suarez. And a healthy cut by Pineda fouls it straight back to the backstop. It's 1-2. Fightin Phil's manager Al Padrique coaching at 3rd base. Michael Jones coaching at 1st base for the Fightins. And now Pineda will take a step out of the batter's box. And his 1-2 pitch. Beats it foul. Again, Aiden Miller technically in the on-deck circle, although he's almost as close to Leandro Pineda as he is to the on-deck circle.
Yeah, on-deck circle is kind of just a recommendation.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss as Pineda comes up empty. And that is strikeout number 2 for Yoander Suarez. One out here in the third for Aiden Miller, who hit a line drive that was caught by DeAndre Smith going back to the fence in inning number 1. Miller had extra bases taken away from him to center field against Portland over the weekend on a nice leaping catch at the wall. And that's over for a called strike 1. And comes up empty here. Now he's quickly behind no balls and 2 strikes. A little bit of an uppercut there from Aiden Miller. Now we'll see if he changes that approach behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Takes it away, it's 1-2.
Miller hit a ball hard his first time up. Stung one to left field, but it was a nice play by DeAndre Smith in left.
Ended up making a leaping catch on a ball that was hit to his left and hard off the bat of Aiden Miller. And again, another long look from Suarez as he winds and delivers. Up and in, and almost hit Aiden Miller. 92 on the radar gun, but when it's coming up at your shoulders, that seems like it's a lot faster.
Yeah, Miller gets out of the way of that one, and good thing, because he do not want Aiden Miller taking a ball up that high.
So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Line down the third base line, but hooking foul. Again, hit hard by Aiden Miller, but out in front of it, pulled it foul on the changeup.
You just got to find some green grass right now. That's the biggest thing for Aiden Miller. Find a way to hit one hard, get the land in the outfield, and just kind of take a nice little sigh of relief and find your way on.
Your first base hit post All-Star break. That's what he's looking for here, 2-2 pitch. And this one hit high and deep down the third base line, but this too is going to hit hook foul up and onto the deck, but in foul territory. So Miller is still back in the box at 2-2 after hitting a couple balls hard but foul, or well but foul.
That one was 356 feet off the mat of Miller, so it was home run distance.
And Suarez back at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lifted down the third base line again, but again hooking foul. This time it was a curveball from Suarez that Miller was out in front of.
Well, he's on him, it feels like.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. It's just timing it up right now, and that's going to bring the catcher, Chris Suero, out to talk with Suarez.
Look at that gap in right center field. If he can just line one there, I mean, you're thinking 2, maybe 3 with his speed.
And I remember talking about that over the weekend, that Portland was kind of playing him the same way. Right fielder kind of shading him, all but playing him really straight away, with the center fielder, Jet Williams, cheating to the left field side of the second base bag, which really opens up right field. If he hits a line drive over second baseman William Lugo's head, Aiden Miller with his speed is going to run for a while. It's 2-2. And he beats this one up the middle. Lugo will make the play by the bag and flips it to first in plenty of time. That's out number 2. Now bring up Carson DeMartini. DeMartini out on an infield pop-up his first time up. So the Phils with 2 hits, both of them 2-out singles. So here we are with the 2 outs here in the third. And now another timeout and another conversation between Suero and Suarez. And even the kids don't like it. You're getting booed by kids. You're doing something wrong.
Must be some sort of miscommunication between the two of them.
Yeah, now Suero, again, is new to Binghamton. He's just called up before the New Hampshire series, so could have something to do with it. But obviously, he sprinted out to the mound, and he had just been out there during the Aiden Miller at bat. And now time is called by the home plate umpire.
I don't know if this is playing a factor. I don't know if you heard this, but I've heard a whistle.
Yeah.
Like a gym teacher whistle in the crowd. I don't know if that's throwing anybody off on the field.
First pitch to DeMartini. It's there for called strike one. Yeah, I mean, you hear whistles at sporting events, but generally not at a baseball game.
If it was football or basketball, I'd get the confusion.
A one pitch. Fisted foul and out of play, and DeMartini quickly in a no balls and 2-strike hole. Suarez quickly delivers this time, and it's outside. It's 1-2. It's almost like a quick pitch, the way Suarez has been so deliberately looking in at Suero from time to time. Then all of a sudden he comes with a quick windup. Now 1-2 pitch, and that's down and low. It's 2-2. Suarez kind of pacing around the mound as if perhaps he may have landed improperly when he delivered that pitch. DeMartini now in a 2-balls and 2-strike count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And DeMartini goes down swinging for the 3rd strikeout for Yowander Suarez. And the fight fills in the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We are through 3 in Baseball Town, and we are scoreless. Through 3 innings of baseball so far on this 12 noon start time. And I couldn't generate any offense, so let's see if one Jake Starr can do so as he takes over the play-by-play.
Hopefully offense on the Fightin Phil side,
yes,
of course.
Let's try and keep that to a one-sided affair.
As Bob alluded to, it's a 0-0 ball game, top half of the 4th inning. Jet Williams leads off for the Rumble Ponies. Esti Benzon Jimenez is back on the mound on this Tuesday afternoon. A reminder also that every Tuesday, all active military and veterans receive $3 off box seats thanks to Berkshire Oral Surgery and Dental Implant Center. So, one time through the order, it's been 9 up, 9 down for Jimenez. In the first pitch to Jet Williams, he swings and fouls it straight back. It's 0-1. Williams 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game. Pop fly to second base, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, it's 0-2. So it's in 4 strikeouts for Jimenez. Of the 5 balls hit in play, 4 of them have gone to Nick Dunn. 3 in the air, 1 on the ground, and the other one was a pop fly to Carson DeMartini last inning from William Lugo. Here's the 0-2, and Williams swings and fouls it out of play on the right side. It'll stay no balls and 2 strikes. Williams a .290 hitter. On base percentage at .399. The 0-2, he swings and he pops it up, and it'll go out of play foul behind home plate. Rumble Ponies wearing their road gray uniforms this afternoon, gray pants. Fightin Phillies for the second straight game are in their hot dogs uniforms with their white pants. 0-2. Swinging a line drive. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Mendez races towards the corner, cuts it off, and then he falls down, so that'll allow Williams to get into second standing up. Mendez a couple of extra seconds to get back up. It looks like he's okay. And should be a leadoff double for Jet Williams. First hit today for the Rumble Ponies, and the 26th double for Jet Williams this year.
Yeah, Jet Williams, like his name, he can run. And I think even if Mendez stays on his feet, I think Jet Williams is standing on second base regardless. Maybe he has to slide in, but there's no doubt that's a double. Line drive off the bat for Jet Williams.
A 26 double puts Williams alone in first in the Eastern League in 2 baggers. So here's DeAndre Smith. He'll dig in from the right side. First one to him's a called strike. It's 0-1. Smith 0 for 1 this afternoon. He struck out swinging back in the first. One of 4 strikeouts that Jimenez has had so far through 3+ frames. Just 41 pitches so far for the righty. Fires home. Swung on and a little floater. It'll fall in center field for a base hit. Campbell gets to it quickly, so Williams gets the third, stops there. So back-to-back base hits for the Rumble Ponies. It puts him out of the corner, still no outs for the ever-so-dangerous Ryan Clifford.
Yeah, Williams had to hold up just for a second off the bat as Smith just kind of reached out and poked at it. He just wanted to make sure that ball was going to fall into center field. And Dylan Campbell read it well, was on it quickly, so the safe play for Clifford was to just kind of cruise into third base with nobody out.
So here is Ryan Clifford. Fightin Phillies will bring DeMartini up at third. Pinellas holds the runner at first. Middle infielder is played back with the men on the corners. First pitch to Clifford. He swings and he hits a line drive into left center field for a base hit. Williams scores. Heading to third is Smith. Throw goes to second, and it is not in time. That'll be an RBI double for Ryan Clifford. So 3 straight hits from the Rumble Ponies makes this a 1-0 ball game.
It's a great slide by Clifford. It kept him from being tagged out as Mendez got the ball back in. Clifford, to his credit, was hustling and gets himself into second base with the double, but a good slide kept him from being tagged out as the Rumble Ponies. We talked about this through the first couple innings, that they were aggressive knowing that Jimenez is around the plate, and it's paid off for them here in this third inning.
So RBI number 56 for Clifford, double number 15. And now that'll bring Jacob Reimer to the plate. It's men on second and third, no out still in the fourth. Reading will bring the infield up. Looking to try and cut off a run here. So 1-0 Rumble Ponies on top. Jimenez fires. The first pitch misses down. It's 1-0. So Jimenez made pretty quick and easy work of the Binghamton lineup the first time through. But it's been a much more rough go so far the second time through. The 1-0 was waved on and whiffed. It's 1-1 to Jacob Reimer. Reimer 0 for 1 in today's game. Popped up to the second baseman, done in the first. Pitch home. And one's a bit down. 2 balls and 1 strike. Reimer 3 for 11, a home run, also drove in a run at New Hampshire last weekend. 2-1, swings and misses through a cutter. It's 2-2. Jimenez is working quickly. He's out of the windup with men on second and third. His 2-2. Misses, low and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Reimer hits in his last 2. He's reached over his last 5. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Reimer will take off the first. The pitch hit the dirt, and it's a low throw by Ricketts. Pinellas able to scoop it. That was almost pretty dangerous. Luckily, everyone else stayed put. So it's strikeout number 5 from SD Benzone Jimenez, and that'll bring Kevin Parada to the plate.
Well, it's a huge strikeout for Jimenez because that gets him in a much better spot now with at least getting 1 out here in the inning. Still in a dangerous spot, but very dangerous on the throw down from Ricketts just because of that runner at third base.
Parada swings the first pitch, and it's a ground ball through the whole left side base hit. DeAndre Smith scores. To third goes Clifford. So it's an RBI single for Kevin Parada, and that'll make it a 2-0 ball game. RBI number 33 of the season for the catcher, but DH today.
Another first pitch swinging as Parada jumps on the first pitch he sees from Jimenez in his second at bat and beats it in between short and third. Not a real good job there by Clifford at second base of reading that ball. Again, when it's hit to your in front of you on your second base, you're told to hold up for a second, but that was definitely going to get through the infield. And Clifford, who does have pretty good wheels, probably should have scored on that play. But again, 1 out in the inning. The safe play is still to make sure you at least get the third base and don't get thrown out at the plate. But probably a better job by Clifford on the read that ball's through the infield and he's home. But right now, a conversation on the mound as Jimenez has been roughed up a little bit by this top half of the lineup for the Rumble Ponies.
4 hits this inning from Binghamton, 2 doubles. Couple of runs scored, makes it 2-0. 1 out, top 4. Crisuero bats. He'll dig in from the right side.
The infield now for the Phils will play back, hoping for a ground ball and a double play to get out of this.
So Dunn shaded towards the middle. Miller straight up and in a couple of steps. DeMartini's deep at third. Pinellas holds the runner at first. First pitch, Suero will take that for a ball. It's 1-0.
Getting back to the piece about Clifford, that's the other reason why probably not a very good read on his part with the infield up, that ball was going to get through that much easier with the infield up.
Jimenez checks the runner at first, the 1-0. Swung on and it's popped up in the infield, first base side. Pinellas tracks in towards the grass and he'll make the catch. That's a big out number 2, and that'll bring Nick LaRusso to the plate.
Well, again, lots of outs recorded by Jimenez by way of strikeouts and infield pop-ups. And with runners in scoring position, that is a huge get for Jimenez. He got 1 strikeout with runners at second and third and 1 out, and now gets an infield pop-up with runners at the corners.
51 pitches for Jimenez. It's man on the corners, 2 outs for the right-handed bat LaRusso. First pitch is low and away, outside, and they throw back to first, and the runner is safe. It got away from Ricketts for a moment.
Yeah,
and Parada should have been a dead duck, but Ricketts checked the runner back and still thought he had time to make a throw, but by the time he did, Parada was able to get around the tag from Pinellas.
Yeah, he let Parada off the hook because there's 2 outs in the inning. If you throw him out at first base, it doesn't matter what the runner does at third base.
1-0. Swinging a line drive towards center, but it's right to Dylan Campbell. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side in the 4th. Rumble Ponies do score a couple of runs. They did it on 4 hits. No errors and 2 men left on base. We played 3.5 on to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Binghamton now on top, 2-0. Klein is proud to be the official transportation provider of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Klein Transportation gets our Phils to all their road trips throughout the 2025 season. For more information, go to kleintransportation.com. So back here from FirstEnergy Stadium, 2-0 Rumble Ponies on top of the Fightin' Phils. Along with Bob McCool, I'm Jake Starr. Appreciate you spending your Tuesday afternoon with us, wherever you may be. If you are listening to us while at work, we appreciate it. But if the boss walks by, just make sure you hit that mute button pretty quickly.
Who wouldn't want to do that to us?
I mean, I don't know why you'd be listening in the first place. Now, of course, if you are listening, we appreciate you tuning in as always today, all season long. So 3-4-5-2 up. Endry Mendez leads off. Yoander Suarez back out. And Suarez will fire the first pitch home, and the lefty Mendez takes it for a ball. It's 1-0. Mendez did not play over the weekend. He was on a development list through Sunday. So making his first start since last Sunday at Chesapeake today. The 1-0, he swings and he pops it up. It goes foul. It's 1-1.
Evil Candy got a little startled.
Mendez has one of the two hits for the Fightin' Phils tonight. A single through the middle, his first time up. The 1-1 will take it down and in. 2 balls, 1 strike to the lefty bat. So Mendez at .290 on the season. Entered today 6th in the Eastern League in average, 9th in hits with his 78 this year. The 2-1 is swung on a line drive, but right to the second baseman, William Lugo, makes the catch. Moved maybe a step to his left, and that is out number 1. And that'll bring Paul McIntosh to the plate.
Well, the Phils have hit some balls hard in this ball game, but don't have much to show for the hard hit balls.
So Paul McIntosh digs in from the right side. He's 0 for 1 today. It was strike 1 on a timer violation on McIntosh, and then he popped up to the first baseman on the second pitch that he saw. So McIntosh looking to settle back in. He's the DH in today's game. He's DH 3 of the last 4 games. First pitch, I'll take it for a ball. It's 1-0. Great weekend for McIntosh. He was 7 for 12, had 4 doubles, a home run, and drove in 4 runs. Was our Fightin' Phils Player of the Week, announced yesterday. 1-0. McIntosh swings and he pops it up. Left side of the infield. In comes Young, the shortstop. He's caught off by Reimer, the third baseman, who makes the catch in the infield grass. That's out number 2. So that'll bring Dylan Campbell to the plate, as it's been 6 straight retired by Yoander Suarez.
It was a Bryce Harper type of weekend for Paul McIntosh, all the extra base hits he had. 5 of his 7 hits, extra base hits. Bryce Harper on a string of 13 extra base hits in his last 8 games.
Yeah, Bryce is heating up, and that's great to see. 2 outs, first pitch to Caleb Ricketts. He swings at it and pops it up. Shallow center, a couple of steps back goes the shortstop Lugo, and he'll make the catch. And that will retire the side in the 4th. So quick inning for Yoander Suarez. 3 up, 3 down, go the Fightin' Phils. We played 4, 1 of the 5th. Binghamton's on top. It's 2-0. Top half of the 5th inning in a game that's cruising right along. 2-0 Rumble Ponies on top of the Fightin' Phils, as Estebanzo and Jimenez is back out. It'll be 8-9 and 1-2 up, as William Lugo will lead off here for the Rumble Ponies. And it's time for today's Fightin' Phils Alumni Report, presented by Deer Country. We got a multifaceted alumni report today, Bob McCool. So stick with me as we kind of weave our way through here. So William Lugo digs in from the right side. We'll start with the easy parts, okay, of the alumni report. Orion Kirkering, a clean 8th inning yesterday in the Phillies 3-2 win against the Red Sox. Max Lazar, how about his effort last night? Just how he's kind of really turned things up.
Sure
First pitch to Lugo was swung on, fouled straight back and out of play. It's 0-1. So he, huge stones last night, comes in 10th inning, leaves the inherited runner aboard, picks up his first career win. 0-1, swung on and a ground ball leaks right through the vacant hole on the right side for a base hit. So that's a leadoff single for William Lugo, and that'll bring Wyatt Young to the plate. So Lazar gets his first career win, but how did we get there is the question. So Phillies load the bases in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Edmundo Sosa's at the plate. I believe it's a 1-0 or 2-0 count. He checks his swing. While checking his swing, he hits the glove of the Red Sox catcher Narvaez. A little bit of confusion at first, right, as Wyatt Young digs in the first pitch home. He'll swing and shoot it foul, 0-1. Sosa's like, I hit his glove. Rob Thompson challenged it. Umpires looked at it, overturned the call. So it was a walk-off catcher's interference. Gave the Phillies the walk-off win. It was the first walk-off catcher's interference in the major leagues. 0-1 is swung on and fouled back 0-2. Since 1971. The last walk-off catcher's interference in professional baseball, though, happened right here at FirstEnergy Stadium, September the 4th of last year against Erie. And the last one before that also happened here in 2007 by the Reading Fightin Phils. But that's not all. The 0-2 misses outside. It's 1-2. The man who was at the plate in September of last year, which, mind you, was also a comeback by the R Phils, I believe. I have to pull this up. I know they trailed entering the 9th inning of that game on September the 4th. Pitch home is up. It's 2-2. Reading scored 4 runs in that inning. They won it 6-5. Right? So they trailed 5-2 entering that inning. Aiden Miller actually scored the winning run in that game. But the batter in that inning, 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Pitch to Young. Over for a call, strike 3, right on the outside corner. Young's down on strikes. That's the 6th strikeout by Esteban Jimenez. The batter was Otto Kemp.
Correct.
And Kemp last night was on second base when that happened. So Otto Kemp has now been a part of 2 walk-off catcher's interferences in his career. And I don't know whether this is true or not, but I'm willing to venture a guess that there's a 99% chance it is. First pitch to Jet Williams outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Otto Kemp has to be the first person in the history of baseball, not professional baseball, but baseball of any level. T-ball, Little League, Babe Ruth, high school, college, minors, majors. He used to be the first player. 1-0 to Williams is swung on and popped up towards left. Mendez started in. Then he goes back. Ball's carrying well. He leaps and he drops it. It was in and out of his glove. So into second base will go Williams. To third goes Lugo because he had to hold up. We'll see whether that's just a straight-up double or if it is going to be an error on Mendez.
I think that's got to be a double. It would have been a good catch by Mendez, leaping up against the fence, and then I think the contact of the fence jarring the ball loose from his glove. And so it ends up being a double for Williams. It was a towering fly ball, and Mendez actually broke in on it initially and then realized this is a lot deeper than I thought and had to go back to the fence and jumped backwards and into the fence, and that the contact with the fence is what knocked the ball loose.
First pitch to Smith is a ball 1-0. And you wonder if he started back right away and had more time to size it up, if that makes a difference. So it's the second double today for Williams. He's up to 27 this year. Next pitch is swung on, ground ball right to the shortstop Miller. He throws home, Lugo in a rundown. He is chased down by Ricketts, makes the tag. So that's going to be out number 2, 6-2 on a fielder's choice. Up to third goes Williams, and aboard at first is Smith.
Yeah, it's a good play on both sides. Obviously a one-hopper right at Aiden Miller, so it's an easy throw home. But a good job by Caleb Ricketts to immediately run the runner, Lugo, back to the bag and not give the batter, DeAndre Smith, a chance to get the second base. So they didn't allow them to extend that rundown and allow the runner to move up. So now you got 2 outs in the inning and runners at the corners.
There's Ryan Clifford. So kind of to finish this story, Otto Kemp has to be the first person in the history of baseball who has been on the field, involved in some way in 2 walk-off catcher's interferences in their career. First pitch of the ball, 1-0 to Clifford.
The statistical odds of that happening to anybody are astronomical.
A walk-off catcher's interference is rare as it is. Doing it twice?
Doing it twice within a less than a calendar
year. The 1-0 swung on, ground ball, and it's underneath the glove of a diving Pinellas. It goes into right field, base hit. Scoring's Williams, to third goes Smith. It'll be a 2-out RBI single for Ryan Clifford. That makes it 3-0 Rumble Ponies.
Well, the top piece of this order is doing its damage in this ball game, and they've done their fair share of damage throughout the season, especially with Williams and Clifford. Clifford with his second RBI of the game now, 57 on the season among the Eastern League leaders. But a big one there to continue the inning, and good wheels by DeAndre Smith immediately around second base and on to third. The runner's still at the corners.
Corners, 2 outs, top 5 for Jacob Reimer, the cleanup hitter. First pitch home is taken a bit inside. It's 1-0. Quiet day for Reimer. He's 0 for 2. He's popped up and he has struck out. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. It's 1-1.
It's a really big spot here for Jimenez. Last inning he was hit hard. This inning they have not been nearly hit as hard, but they have been finding the right spots, and they've got to run out of this. But to keep it here and walk out of here at 5 innings with giving up 3 runs, it could be a whole lot worse.
Ball and a strike here. Jimenez set at the belt, fires home. That one misses down. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's pitch number 69 for Jimenez. Went 89 last time out at Chesapeake, 93 the previous 2. So if he gets Reimer here, I think he'd come back out for the 6. 2-1, swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Nice sinker in on the hands to the righty Reimer. And Jimenez is a strike away from getting out of this inning. Already has 6 strikeouts this afternoon.
Yeah, that's 1 shy of his season high of 7. So it would be a big spot here.
Had 7 at Somerset on July the 4th.
Get out of this 5th inning with no more damage.
2-2, misses down 3-2, which means that Ryan Clifford at first will be off on the pitch. Clifford, who's on first, already 2 RBI today. He's up to 57 this season. For what it's worth, Reading's leading RBI guy is Hendry Mendez, who's at 40. 3-2. Payoff pitch. Right down the chute. That's a called strike 3, and it's a 7th strikeout tonight for Esti Benzone Jimenez. So that ends the inning, which overall the Rumble Ponies scored 1. They had 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. We will head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, halfway home on this Tuesday afternoon in Baseball Town. Binghamton on top, 3-0. This inning is presented by Cornwall Manor, a unique and charming community on a 190-acre wooded campus with many walking trails, including the Lebanon County Rail Trail. So bottom half of the 5th inning, Rumble Ponies on top of the Fightin' Phils 3-0. Yoander Suarez, who sits at 49 pitches today, He's back out for inning number 5 of work. He's kept the Fightin's bats pretty much at bay today. And it'll be 6, 7, 8 to face him. And I'll start with Dylan Campbell. So Campbell will dig in from the right side. Some stretching in the Reading bullpen right now. Nobody throwing, so I think Jimenez will come back out. Looks like time is called by Yoander Suarez. As for a new baseball from our home plate umpire, Drew Buffelli. Cass Cousins at first. Justin Sims is at third. Our 3-man Eastern League umpiring crew this week. So Dylan Campbell digs in from the right side. He's 0 for 1 this afternoon with a strikeout. And the first pitch home, Campbell will take it for a called strike. It's 0-1. Sinker at 89, top of the zone.
Yeah, the two guys who are moving around the most were Tommy McCullum and Andrew Bechtold. I wouldn't think either one of them is going to be coming in the 6th inning.
Campbell takes the 0-1. That's also a called strike, a slider. So it's 0-2.
McCullum has got the most saves for the Fightin' Phils. Andrew Bechtold picked up a save over the weekend. So you think they're more late inning guys. They might have just been guys who have been the most antsy in the bullpen.
0-2. Campbell swinging a foul ball. Got a piece of the catcher, Suero. So the home plate umpire, Drew Buffelli, will walk out a new baseball to the pitcher, Suarez. I mean, look, Bob, you're sitting still for so long. You got to get up and move eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I do every once in a while.
Yeah, Bob actually starts doing arm circles, stretching, and
Sure.
helping in the broadcast booth when he's not on play-by-play.
I do it. News breaks in the morning. I get up and take a walk down the hallway.
That's just not – I thought that was just to avoid Mike Keller.
Well,
It's like you do it to avoid me. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Campbell chases a fastball up top. So he's down on strikes. That's strikeout number 4 for Yoander Suarez this afternoon. Second time Campbell struck out, and that'll bring Nick Dunn to the plate.
Suarez is a guy who was in the Mets top 30 prospect list a year ago and kind of fell off that prospect list, but he's had a solid season, obviously, for a very good Rumble Pony team. And he's not dominant today, but he's been dominant today. I mean, he's not blowing anybody away, but he's looked really strong.
First pitch to Nick Dunn, takes inside for a ball. I mean, he's been consistent. That's kind of been the name of the game for Yoander Suarez. Spent most of last year with Binghamton. Had a couple of cups of coffee up in AAA Syracuse. The 1-0 low and away. It's 2-0. 25-year-old. 7th season in the Mets system. International free agent signing in 2018 out of Venezuela. 2 balls, no strikes to the lefty Dunn. Pitch home. He swings. He'll foul it back off the netting behind home plate. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
If you look at the scouting report for Suarez, it says fastball in the 94 to 96 range. And he hasn't been really close to that at all today. It's been pretty much 91, 92, 93.
And that's what, I mean, their game notes listed at 91 to 93, so it seems like this year he's taken a little bit off of that fastball from what we've seen before. 2-1, Dunn swings through a fastball at 90, it's 2-2.
But it goes back to the point we make so often that it's not necessarily 98 to 99 that's going to make you successful. You can get guys out.
2-2 the count here to the left-handed hitting Nick Dunn. Suarez fires, and he swings and hits a 1-hop ground ball to second. Lugo fields it chest high, flips it over to first in time. That's out number 2. And that'll bring Alex Pinellas to the plate.
And that's a good example of it. It's a curveball that he got in the middle part of the zone, but because of what he did before that, Nick Dunn's all over it. But he hits a 1-hopper right at the second baseman.
That'll bring Alex Pinellas to the plate. Left-handed bat, 2 outs here in the 5th. Rumble Ponies lead it 3-0. First pitch home. Pinellas swings and misses. It's 0-1. Both teams been very aggressive early in counts this afternoon. Reading about a little less successfully than the Rumble Ponies so far. That's the key word. 0-1. Pinellas takes it upstairs. 1-1. Fightin' Phillies just 2 hits today. A single in the first from Mendez, then 1 in the second from Nick Dunn. That's been it offense-wise for the R-Phils. No walks have been issued by Yoander Suarez, which is expected. He does not walk a lot of guys. The 1-1 is a curveball that misses a bit in. It's 2-1.
Well, that's a piece of it. If you're going to be around the zone, you got to be able to mix your pitches up. and keep batters off timing as well, but you can't put runners on base by way of walks because it seems like the Phils are awfully close to putting something together here. They just can't quite put something together, but if you don't walk anybody ahead of it, it'll make you put string hits together.
2-1 is a sinker on the inside corner. It's 2-2. Pinellas 0 for 1 today. He grounded into a fielder's choice of the shortstop, Wyatt Young. Not have a hit since the return from the All-Star break. He's 0 for 8. 2-2 is up tight. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This is one of the first 3-ball counts we've seen today.
Yeah, and he's upset with himself because of it as well. He's done that a couple of times where he looks like he's lost his balance a little bit on his follow-through.
3-2 count, 2 outs to Alex Pinellas. Suarez, the payoff pitch. And swing and a miss. Pinellas down on strikes. 5th strikeout this afternoon for Yoander Suarez. So he's through 5 shutout innings. What are the 6? Rumble Ponies still on top. 3-0. Established in 1928, the Manor Golf Club is one of the oldest public courses in eastern Pennsylvania, located between Philadelphia, Lancaster, and Allentown in Sinking Spring. It offers a true test of golf on a championship-style course. Visit themanorgolfclub.com for more info. So, we're zooming right along here, top of the 6th inning. 3-0 Rumble Ponies on top of the Fightin Phils. Esteban Zone Jimenez at 72 pitches. Is back out for inning number 6 of work. And it'll be 5, 6, 7 due up for the Rumble Ponies. Kevin Parada will lead things off. The catcher, who's the DH today, digs in from the right side. He's 1 for 2 today. An RBI single in the 4th. In the first pitch, he swings and misses. It's 0-1.
Going to make a bold prediction for you, Jake. We're going to get out of here earlier today than we did on Sunday.
If we get out of here as late as we did Sunday today, something went terribly wrong. And Parada swing at the 0-1. It's a fly ball right to the center footer. Campbell makes the catch, and that's out number 1. That'll bring Chris Suero to the plate. So Parada, just circling back to him real quick, catcher out of Georgia Tech. Recent influx of, some really strong Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets making impacts at the big league level. Red Sox system from All Christian Campbell was caught up this year. First pitch is a swing and a miss by Suero, 0-1 to the Red Sox. Was up with the Red Sox. He's back in AAA Worcester now. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Campbell, I think they're trying to teach him first base because of the Tristan Casas injury. The Red Sox still kind of in flux of who's going to play first. Get it? Who's going to play first, naturally. But they wanted Rafael Devers to play first. We saw that ended up. Not good for those who didn't know.
Traded him as far away as they could. They traded him all the way to the other side of the
San
coast.
Francisco. 0-2 to Suero. Check swing, but doesn't matter. He went around. So that's strikeout number 8 for Jimenez. That'll set a new season high for him. 2 outs in the inning for La Russa. But the other one who's really taken the league by storm with his speed is Chandler Simpson of the Tampa Bay Rays. Boy, is he fast. He's built like Devontae Smith. I think that's the best way to put it. Just tall and skinny, very lanky. But he is one of the fastest guys you've ever seen. Still over 100 bases in a season in the minors. First pitch to La Russa, swung on and foul back. It's 0-1. Just a few former Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets that making their mark on professional baseball. 2 outs here, top 6. 3-0 Rumble Ponies lead. 0-1, swung on and dribbled foul to the left side. So it's no balls and 2 strikes. It's the 79th pitch for SD Benzone Jimenez. Looking for a very quick inning here. 0-2. Swung on, lifted into the air towards center. To his right goes Campbell. He'll make the catch, and that'll retire this side. An 8-pitch inning for SD Benzone Jimenez. Rumble Ponies go down in orders. We will head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Fightin' Phils, though, still trail. It's 3-0. This Day in Baseball Town history is presented by Body Zone Sports and Wellness, the official workout facility of the Phils. So 2 years ago today, July 22nd, 2023, at Altoona, Reading wins 4-1 behind one of the best starts in Griff McGarry's career. At the time, the Phillies' number 4 prospect goes 7 innings, a career high, allows just 3 hits, no walks, and has 10 strikeouts, a season high. It was the 4th time in McGarry's career he had 10 or more strikeouts, and it set his season high in innings pitched for a Reading arm and matched the team high in strikeouts for a single pitcher. So it's the bottom half of the 6th inning, 3-0. The Rumble Ponies are on top of the Fightin' Phils. Leandro Pineda leads off. Yoander Suarez back on the mound. Just 64 pitches for the 25-year-old righty Suarez. First pitch to the 9-hitter Pineda is up. It's 1-0.
There's some action now in the Binghamton bullpen. Left-hander Daniel Juarez is now up for Binghamton.
Juarez has been a starter before, too. I feel like Binghamton's got a handful of converted starters in their bullpen. Pineda swings, and he hits one, a flare down the right field line, and it's foul. I'd like to see a replay on that. I thought that may have been fair. Pineda thought that was a lot more foul than it was because he didn't really take off out of the box.
Yeah, I think it ends up foul, but it seemed like it was in fair territory for a long time, but I definitely think it landed on the foul side of the bag. I mean, the first base umpire, Kaz Cousins, was right there. I mean, he had the best look of anybody. He was literally on top of it, but off the bat, it looked like it was in fair territory for a while and just drifted and foul in the last minute or so.
1-1. Swing and a miss by Pineda. A fastball up. It's 1-2. Leandro Pineda 0 for 1 in today's game. A strikeout swinging back in the 3rd. It's been a quiet going for the Reading offense so far today. Just 2 hits through 5 innings. 1-2. Pineda swings and will poke one to the third baseman. Reimer was playing at the shortstop spot and in. Fields it on a couple of hops and fires the first in time. So that'll be out number 1. And that'll bring the shortstop Aiden Miller to the plate.
Yeah, that was perfect positioning for Reimer. He was in a spot for the stance of Pineda, who doesn't hit the ball the other way all that much, especially on the ground. But a good job by him to just kind of reach out and slap it the other way, but Reimer was right there. And ultimately turns into a pretty routine play.
Miller digs in from the right side, 0 for 2. First pitch, he swings and he fouls it, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Appears as if SD Benzone Jimenez's day is done. Fightin' Phils have Jack Dallas up and throwing in their bullpen. And if so, a quality day of work for Jimenez. 6 innings, 3 runs. Quality start in the books. 0-1. Miller swinging a foul. It hits off the netting behind home plate. And it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, in the end, I mean, obviously Jimenez has got no chance unless the Phils rally here. He's not going to be able to chance to have a win here. But gives up 3 runs in the 6th inning. But 7 strikeouts, which is a career high. Didn't walk a batter.
0-2. Miller swings, fouls it out of play. It stays no balls and 2 strikes.
So all in all, it's not a bad effort by Jimenez. I mean, they hit him hard in the 4th. They got the 1 run in the 5th inning. It wasn't on anything spectacularly hit.
I mean, if that ball ends up in Mendez's glove.
Right, correct. Yeah. And
which was a double to Williams. It's looking at 6 innings, 2 runs of work.
Right, and Lugo got the inning started with just slapping one the other way.
Pitch to Miller, misses down. It's 1-2 with a curveball.
And then the hit by Clifford was just under the glove of a diving Benelis. I mean, again, there's an old adage in this game of hit it where they ain't, and that's what happens. But I'm just saying, there weren't hard hit balls in the 5th. In the 4th, yes, they were. They hit rockets off him in the 4th.
1-2. Miller takes a fastball up. It's 2-2.
But to that point, Jimenez was able to pitch out of further damage in both the 4th and the 5th. Those could have been bigger innings, and he was able to pitch out of trouble with runners on third base.
Even count to Miller, 2-2. Looking for a hit. Pitch home. That's a breaking pitch, and Miller swings and he fouls. It's out of play on the left side, 2-2 still. Miller 0 for 2 today. He's 0 for 14 since the return from the All-Star break. Does not have a hit over his last 3 games. Has not reached over his last 2. Just looking for something hard in grass somewhere. 2-2. That's up and into the righty. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, the one good piece of this, even though Aiden Miller has been scuffling to get hits, he still isn't chasing. He hasn't really left, for the most part, the strike zone chasing pitches.
Full count, 1 out. Suarez fires. Miller swings and will tap it foul, and it stays 3-2. What was the 8th pitch of the at-bat to the 21-year-old Aiden Miller. And that's something I think people need to be reminded about sometimes, is how young Miller is, how young Justin Crawford is, how young Andrew Painter is.
Yeah.
People expect to see these top prospects move so quickly. But these are all guys that were drafted out of high school. They're still so young. 3-2. Miller swings. It's a line drive towards the left field line. Diving is Smith, and it's in and out of his glove, a base hit. Miller turns first. He'll get the second. He'll be in there for double, and that's got to feel really good for Aiden Miller.
Yeah, you had to wonder if you're Aiden Miller, you're running down the first baseline thinking, if he catches this one. And fortunately, for Aiden Miller, it was in the glove of DeAndre Smith and ultimately came out. Again, it's kind of the same thing we were talking about with Mendez, the contact with the wall. And in this case, the contact with Smith on the full-out dive. The ball comes loose, and Aiden Miller, hustling all the way, gets a double out of it. And that looks like it's going to be the end of the night for Yoander Suarez.
So 10th double of the year for Miller, 20th extra base hit. Yoander Suarez's day is done. Perhaps a good thing for the Fightin' Phils. We'll step aside for a moment. Well, the new pitcher out of the Alvernia University Golden Wolves bullpen when we return. So we're still in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 3-0 Rumble Ponies on top of the Fightin' Phils. And the new arm in from the Alvernia bullpen for Binghamton is the lefty Daniel Juarez.
It's his 12th appearance of the season. He's 0-1 with a 5.79 earned run average on the year. 14 innings pitched in his 11 games. He's given up 15 hits, 16 strikeouts, 5 walks. He's also surrendered 3 home runs.
So that'll bring Carson DiMartini to the plate. Aiden Miller's on second. He doubled just prior to Yoander Suarez being taken out of this ball game. Suarez 5 1/3, 3 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Currently can't close the line yet because he is responsible for Aiden Miller on second base. So DiMartini 0 for 2 digs in. He's also desperately in search of a base hit. First one home, and DiMartini takes it up. It's 1-0.
Right fielder Ryan Clifford is playing him a little bit
towards the gap.
Right towards the gap.
Everyone, they have him spun around.
Really deep.
Williams in center is in left center, and then
right.
Smith in left is over towards the line and in.
Carson DiMartini pulls one on the first baseline.
Well, it doesn't matter because it hits him right in the shoulder. Right on that protective guard, though, so Carson DiMartini is hit by a pitch. So it's 2 base runners now for Reading. Heart of the lineup coming up. Here's your best hitter in Hendry Mendez.
Yeah, this is a big spot here for the Phils. They finally got a hit with less than 2 outs in this ball game. Their other 2 hits off of Suarez were both 2-out singles, one in the first and one in the second. So with the Aiden Miller 1-out double, they immediately have something different to look at. And now with 2 men on, here comes Hendry Mendez as the tying run to the plate.
It's the first time today Reading has had 2 men or more on base. Mendez is 1 for 2. He has singled and he's lined out the second. Reading trails 3-0 here in the 6th with 1 out. Juarez fires. Mendez a big hack and a miss. It's 0-1.
Yeah, he looked to tie that one up.
Daniel Juarez can't escape facing the Phillies organization. He was promoted to AAA Syracuse last week. Made 1 appearance. It was against Lehigh Valley. He comes back to Binghamton, and now he faces Reading 10 days later. 0-1, both runners go, and Mendez swings, ground ball right side. It's right through the legs of Lugo, and it's into right field. Miller scores, DiMartini to third, and you got to think the double steal and the hit and run caused that error, but Reading's on the board. It's 3-1.
Well, regardless of what it was, it's a huge break for the Phils. I mean, all they were going to be able to do is get Mendez at first base on the double steal, and Lugo, whether he just picked his head up because of the runners breaking or not, doesn't matter. He just simply booted the ball. DiMartini, because he was off on the pitch, had actually stopped at second base and then realized the ball was in right field and quickly got up and got to third base. So the Phils now with the tying runs on base.
So it's an error on Lugo, his 8th of the year.
Still an RBI, though, for Mendez. No, it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't
because he was going to third on the steal.
First pitch to McIntosh, swings, fair ball down the left field line towards the corner. Scoring is DiMartini. Mendez races to third. Whole stop there. And the red-hot Paul McIntosh has an RBI double. And the Fightin Phils are within 1. It's 3-2.
Well, the extra base machine that is Paul McIntosh continues. We said it earlier. In the Portland series, he had 5 of his 7 hits, extra base hits. And he continues in a little bit of a different way. He had been hitting him off the wall before, but this one just a hard ground ball down the third baseline. And obviously DiMartini scores easily, but it allows Mendez to get around to third base. McIntosh cruises into second base with another extra base hit and another RBI.
So here's Caleb Ricketts, men on second and third, 1 out. Infield's up for the Rumble Ponies. First pitch, Ricketts swings, will pop it up, and it goes foul. To the left side, it's 0-1.
Get a chance now to take Jimenez off the hook now if you can at least get a run, and if you can get 2 runs in here, you can get him a win.
Take that.
Infield up, golden opportunity here.
Here's the 0-1. Ricketts swings, and I'll poke it foul, left side, and out of play.
A couple of good swings by Caleb Ricketts, because again, he's trying to lift the ball here. Somehow, some way, just get the ball on the grass. If it's a fly ball, that's fine. Mendez should be able to score.
Williams in center and Smith in left pretty shallow. Clifford straight up in right. Infield's in, of course, with 1 out. The 0-2, and it's taken outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the lefty Ricketts.
But you got to make contact here if you're Caleb Ricketts, somehow or another. Again, with the infield up.
Ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Reading trails 3-2, bottom 6. Then on second and third. Pitch home. That's down low. A good block by the catcher, Suero, to keep it in front. It's 2-2. Ricketts just 150. 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position this year. He's driven in 7. 25-year-old catcher from the University of San Diego, looking for a big hit here in the 6th. 2-2. That's in tight. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So it started 0-2 to Ricketts after back-to-back foul balls, and it's been 3 straight balls thrown by Juarez.
Yeah.
Fightin's batter is working some good counts this inning.
Yeah, and each one of those 3 balls has gotten significantly more out of the strike zone.
3-2. Pitch home. Ricketts swings and he crushes it, but it's very much foul and very much out of play.
Yeah, I mean,
towards the parking lot where I park.
He's had
338 feet on that.
He's had 3 really good swings at Juarez.
Runners get their leads with the infield up for Daniel Juarez. 2 outs in the inning, and that'll bring Dylan Campbell to the plate.
Now that is a gut punch right there for the Phils, and right up until then, as we said, he had good swings against Juarez, but he went chasing after a pitch away, and that's that lefty-on-lefty matchup, and he gets Ricketts to chase, and a huge out now for Juarez to try to get out of this.
So here's Dylan Campbell. Infield's back, first pitch. Campbell will take it up. It's 1 ball and no strikes. It's been a rough day so far for Campbell. 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. You know, he's happy to see Suarez out of this ball game. See if Campbell can do some damage here against Juarez. The 1-0. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes.
And a good quality lead off of third for Mendez in the event that a ball gets away from Suero. He's already pulled one out of the dirt in the at-bat against Ricketts.
2-0 home. Breaking pitch for a called strike. It's 2-1, top of the zone. Don't think Campbell would have liked that one anyway. Campbell had a hit on Sunday. It was a game-tying 2-run home run in the bottom of the 11th inning to keep the game going. Does he have another big swing in him? 2-1. Campbell swings and a slowly hit ground ball towards the middle. Young charges, gloves it, fires to first. It is in time. Campbell out by the slimmest of margins. He thought he was safe. Well, look at the replay right here. Let you be the judge at home if you're watching it. The throw to first. That's so close. So close. Could have gone either way. But 6-3 goes the put out. And that will retire the side in the 6th. But the Fightin' Phils are right back in it. 2 runs in the inning. They had 2 hits, both doubles. There was a pretty costly error and 2 men left on base. 2/3 the way home here from FirstEnergy Stadium. We will head to the 7th with the Fightin' Phils trailing at 3-2. Top of the 7th inning is presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more. So Reading back in this game, it's 3-2. New pitcher in for the Phils, trying to keep the deficit where it's at, is Jack Dallas.
Dallas making his 24th appearance of the season. He's 0-1 with a 4.62 earned run average. In 37 innings, he's given up 39 hits. He has struck out 40. He's walked just 12.
First pitch to William Lugo was a strike, so it's 8, 9, and 1. Due up here for the Rumble Ponies in the inning. 0-1 from Jack Dallas, swing and a miss, 0-2. This game was maybe an inch away from being tied up, at least. Looked like Dylan Campbell may have beat out a ground ball that he softly hit the short, but a strong throw got him by maybe a quarter of a step. So we stand in a one-run game here in the 7th. The 0-2 swung on, ground ball third. DeMartini has it, fires across, it's in time. And that's out number 1. That'll bring Wyatt Young to the plate. Close the line now on Esty Benzone Jimenez. Quality start for him, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts. It really was that 4th inning where he was hit hard.
Yep.
5th inning, gave up hits, but a lot of them were more bloop hits. So overall, though, 6 innings, 3 runs, you'll take it. First pitch to Young, misses outside corner, and it does not miss at all. It's actually a strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, so now the pressure goes right back to the bullpen, of course, to try to come up with the shutdown innings, because the Phils feel like you're starting to come around a little bit with the bats.
0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. And it was one double off of Suarez, and then the bats kind of came to life against Juarez.
Correct.
Say that 50 times fast. 0-2. Swung on, ground ball foul past Mariano Duncan in the first base coach's box.
Yeah, and it's the right move by Reed Brignac because he goes to the left-hander in Juarez because the Phils lineup is loaded up with left-handed hitters against Suarez. So you go to the left-hander, and the Phils are able to do a little bit of damage, so they're right back in this ballgame. But now, again, the bullpen now has to put up some zeros.
Wyatt Young 0 for 2 today. He's popped up the second, and he has struck out. 0-2 from Dallas, and that is outside for a ball. It's 1-2. It was off the plate, but it was in the exact same spot that strike 1 was called in this at-bat. So I guess maybe more of a makeup call. 1-2. That one bit down now. 2-2. But neither of those misses particularly that wide from Jack Dallas. 2-2. Up and away, 3 balls, 2 strikes. So it started off 0-2. Then was a foul ball and 3 straight balls thrown by Dallas to allow Wyatt Young back into the count. 3-2, swung on, lifted into the air towards left center. Over towards the alley goes Campbell, and the center fielder makes the catch. That's out number 2, and that'll bring Chet Williams to the plate. It's been an interesting season, really an interesting last couple of seasons for Jimenez, because last year he had struggles. Early on this year he's had struggles, but really once the calendar flipped to June and before his promotion into now, he's looked like a totally different pitcher.
Yeah, you look at his numbers, and his ERA was 5-something when he came up from
Jersey Shore.
But
first
then
pitch to Williams, a strike 0-1.
You kind of look at it, the same thing here. I mean, that first outing that he had here, he was called up for a Sunday outing, and it wasn't pretty, but he got better as that outing went on. He's been really solid since.
0-1, Williams swings, and he lines it foul, left field line.
And then you also have to take a look at the competition. I mean, this is a Binghamton team that had a really good first half and has continued on the second half. And as a team, they're hitting at 247, which on the outside doesn't seem like a lot, but that's second best in the Eastern League.
I mean, the average in baseball right now is about 240, 241.
Correct.
So if you can hit around 250 as a team, that's pretty impressive. The 0-2's on the outside corner. That's a called strike 3. Chet Williams didn't think so, but that does end the inning. So it's a 1-2-3 frame for Jack Dallas. We've played 7. We will head to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here from FirstEnergy Stadium. Fightin Phillies down by just 1. It's 3-2. Bottom half of the 7th inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. Have you or a loved one been injured? Get justice. Call Swartz Culleton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. So it's a 3-2 ball game. Binghamton still on top of the Phillies, but 2 runs for Reading in the 6th. Put themselves right back in it. And it'll be Daniel Juarez back out for his 2nd inning of work. And it'll be Nick Dunn to lead off. 7, 8, 9 due up for Reading. All lefties here against the lefty Juarez.
Well, we talked about the fact that the Phils had 6 of their 9 batters in this lineup were left-handers, and with Juarez coming in, no reason to take him out with these 3 lefties due up.
First pitch to Dunn. He takes it for a strike. It's 0-1. Final line on Yoander Suarez today, 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, a run. It was earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts. 0-1 is swung on, hit pretty well towards right. Back goes Clifford towards the wall, looks up, and it's gone! Nick Dunn, his 2nd home run with the Phils, his 1st here at home. A solo shot ties the game up at 3 as it goes right into the pool.
Well, lefty on lefty matchup or not, Nick Dunn equal to the challenge, and that quickly we are tied up. So the Fightin Phils showing some life, and it all started with that double from Aiden Miller that kind of broke the ice a little bit, and the Phils have followed it up, and now Nick Dunn has tied it up.
So that'll bring Alex Pinellas to the plate in a tie ball game. Pitch home. And Pinellas swings, hits a line drive towards right center field. That falls for a base hit. Clifford cuts it off. Pinellas holds at first. So it's back-to-back hits now for the Fightin Phils. And that'll bring Leandro Pineda to the plate.
Well, the Fightin Phils say, I'll see your lefty and I'll take your lefty, and they turn on both of them. But I really felt like this was coming. It just seemed like it was coming, even against Suarez, that the Phils were getting close. They just seemed like they were in a position where the bats were better, the contact was better.
First pitch to Pineda, swinging a ground ball through the middle, base hit. Pinellas turns 2nd. He's going to head to 3rd. Williams up with it. The throw to 3rd is in time. Pineda does go into 2nd behind the play. But Pinellas is thrown out running to 3rd, so it's going to be an assist for Williams. And Pineda is at 2nd on a single. So 3 straight hits for Reading. 1 out in the inning, and Aiden Miller comes up. But first, Reed Brignac's coming out, and I believe that's going to be the end of the day for Juarez with the righty Miller up. He's going to go to the righty out of the bullpen, and we'll have him for you when we come back here on the Fightin Phils Radio Network. New pitcher in out of the Alvernia University bullpen is the righty Anthony Nunez here in a 3-3 game.
Nunez making his 20th appearance of the season. He's been good, 1-0 with a 1.66 earned run average in 21 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 9 hits. He struck out 35. He's walked 8. So he hasn't been good. He's been really good.
So Aiden Miller will be the first batter that he faces. Miller, who has a double, so maybe let's see if that opens. I mean, the Miller double opened the floodgates for the Phils.
Started it.
But let's see if the Miller double can open the floodgates for Aiden Miller, because he's due for a hot streak. And I know it's coming. I've told a lot of people that it's coming, and I mean, now's a great time to do it. I mean, any time's a great time. I just feel like we're in for an Aiden Miller hot streak.
But we haven't had one yet. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, as we talked about this at the beginning of the Portland series, that the batting average is kind of just sat within about 4 or 5 points of one another for 2 months. He's been consistent but not hot, and he has not had a hot streak.
First pitch to Miller. He takes it, gets away from the catcher, Suero, towards the backstop. Pineda up to third. So he advances on a wild pitch.
That is a big break for the Phils because we went to the commercial break with a pitching change, but it was a terrible base running decision by Alex Pinellas to get thrown out at third base in that spot. Right now the Phils can have second and third and nobody out. But on the base hit to center field, Pinellas, A, the ball's in front of you, you can see it. B, you've got a really good center fielder with a good arm in Jet Williams in center field. He was out easily at third base, and you don't make that first out at third base. So it was a bad mistake by Pinellas, but that wild pitch helps the cause a little bit. Now you got a runner at third base and one out.
See if Miller can pick up Pinellas here. 1-0 count, pitch home. Miller takes it down low, 2-0. So from the bottom of the second to the bottom of the fifth, Reading had nothing, no hits at all. From the top, basically the last time through the order, Reading picked up 5 base hits. Miller takes the 2-0 down, 3-0. Got away from Suero for a second, but not far enough away to his left allow Pineda to do anything.
Well, Binghamton pretty much did the same thing. I mean, Jimenez had a no-hitter going through 3 innings, and then Jet Williams got it started with a double, and that opened up the floodgates for them to put 3 runs across over the course of the 4th and 5th inning.
3-0. Miller will take it down. That's ball 4. So Aiden Miller works himself a walk. And I'll put men on the corners here with 1 out for Carson DiMartini. I would think that Aiden Miller is going to be put in motion at some point in this at bat.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not on the first. If it's not the first pitch, it's the second, depending on whether or not he needs to figure out Nunez's move or not. But obviously, Aiden Miller has not hesitated to run at any point in time, and he represents the go-ahead run. So
it's already a pretty lengthy lead for Miller.
Yep. Get him in second base and get him in scoring position.
So here's the lefty, Carson DiMartini. Men on the corners, 1 out, bottom 7. Nunez will check on Miller, and he gets back in safely. He went airborne on that dive back because he had a hefty lead.
Yeah, and he's leaning. There's no doubt he's going. It's a matter of whether he's going on the first pitch or the second. So as I said, you might want to see what the pitcher's move is. Well, he just saw it. It was a pretty good move. And he almost got him, but he's still got that same size lead.
Here's the pitch. Miller stays put, and DiMartini swings, hits it towards right. In comes Clifford, makes a shoestring catch. Pineda tags. He is safe from the slide. They're going to appeal to third, thinking Pineda left. They will throw it. He did not leave early, so it's a It is a go-ahead sacrifice fly from Leandro Pineda, and the Fightin' Phils lead it 4-3.
Yeah, no, Pineda definitely did not leave early, and Clifford almost misjudged that ball. He ended up making a shoestring catch out of it, so that allows Pineda to tag up and score relatively easily. But DiMartini hit it well, but it hung up just enough for Clifford to make the shoestring catch, and he comes away a little bit awkward, and Pineda is able to score.
First pitch to Mendez. Miller is caught between first and second. And it's going to be a rundown. They throw it to Young, the shortstop. Will chase Miller back. It's LaRusso now. They throw it to the third baseman, Reimer, and he tags Miller, so he's picked off. And that will end the 7th inning. So Reading does score 2. Could have been more. A couple of outs in the base pass, but 2 runs to take the lead. They did it on 3 hits. There were no errors, and ultimately no one is left on base. So we're through 7. We'll head to the 8th. Fightin' Phils are now on top. They lead it 4-3. Top half of the 8th inning. Fightin Phil's now on top. It's 4-3, and the takeover on the play-by-play. It's my broadcast partner, Bob McCool.
Well, when I always thought that Jake Starr was never listening to me, I said, Jake, how about giving us some offense? And he did. All the offense has come during those 4 innings. And right now, the Phil's offense is one better than the Rumble Ponies as we head to the top half of the 8th inning in a 4-3 game. Binghamton with a 2-spot in the 4th and then followed it up with a single run in the 5th. Fightin's get 2 runs in the 6th and then 2 more in the 7th. They lead at 4-3 as the Ponies bat here in the top half of the 8th inning. And leading it off is DeAndre Smith, who tries to drop a bunt down the third baseline. Unfortunately for Carson DiMartini and the Phils, that ball hit the ground and took a left turn and bounced out of play into foul territory because DeAndre Smith would have easily had himself a leadoff bunt single. He'll have to come back to the plate. Smith will be followed by Ryan Clifford and Jacob Reimer, due up for the Ponies here in the 8th inning, facing Jack Dallas, now in his 2nd inning of work for the Phils. Their Estebinzon Jimenez went the first 6. Dallas pitched the 7th, a 1-2-3-7 at that. And now he misses out. He gets the outside corner to DeAndre Smith, makes it a no balls and 2-strike count to Smith, who has been on base twice in this game. Singled and scored a run in the 4th, safe on a fielder's choice in the 5th, and struck out in his 3 total plate appearances. 0-2 pitch, fouled off the facing of the Fightin Phil's dugout down the first baseline. And it may have broke the bat, and looks like it did break the bat of Smith, so he needs a neat piece of wood. Right now, the Fightin Phil's bullpen is quiet, so the Phil's hoping that Jack Dallas can give them the 3 outs here in the 8th. And then they'll turn it over to, you would think, Tommy McCullum in the 9th. Again, McCullum is the Fightin Phil's team leader. Speaking of which, take a look at the Fightin Phil's team leaders presented by Pennsylvania Army National Guard. Tommy McCullum with 6 saves is the Fightin Phil's team leader in that category. 0-2 pitch is outside, and Smith lays off. Smith to be fouled, as I said, by Ryan Clifford and Jacob Reimer, 2, 3, and 4 in their Rumble Ponies lineup. Phil's trying to get to 500 with a win today. In the 2nd half, they did get to 500 after Saturday's win and winning the first 2 games against Portland over the weekend. But then with the Sea Dogs winning the extra inning affair on Sunday, Phil's dropping to 10-11 in the 2nd half, the start of today's game. 1-2 pitch to Smith, lifted into right field, not very deep. Pineda will have to go back a couple of steps. He'll make the catch well in front of the warning track for out number 1. Bring up Ryan Clifford. He's had a good day. Struck out in the 1st, but then an RBI double in the 4th and RBI single in the 5th. His 56th and 57th RBI of the season. Clifford 2nd in the Eastern, right now 2nd in the Eastern League with his 2 RBIs today. And the first pitch to the left-handed hitter is up high for a ball. And inside with the 2nd, it's 2-0. So the batting average, as I said in the 1st inning, for Clifford, not great for the number 4 prospect in the Mets organization, but he's done a lot of other good things over the course of the year. 2-0 pitch is there for a called strike, including 17 home runs to go along with his now 57 RBIs. So among the league leaders in both of those 2 categories. Just 22 years of age. Beats this one foul off his foot. It's 2-2. And turned 22 only on July the 20th. Drafted by the drafted by the Astros in the 11th round. Out of prep school in North Carolina. Again, acquired by the Mets in the Justin Verlander trade on August the 1st of 2023. 2-2 pitch. Beats another one foul to stay alive. But with Clifford and Jet Williams, 2 of their top prospects playing on this Rumble Pony team, and They have been consistently at the top of the order and done a lot of damage. Jack Dallas winds and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike three, as Clifford cannot catch up to the high heat from Jack Dallas for his second strikeout. 2 outs here in the 8th. That'll bring up Jacob Reimer. Reimer, a 4th-round draft pick of the Mets in 2022 out of Yucaipa High School in California. And he takes the first pitch over for a called strike. He's the 17th ranked prospect in the Mets organization. Began the season at Brooklyn, played 61 games for Brooklyn at .284 with 8 home runs. 0-1 pitch to him is a swing and a miss, and Dallas quickly ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes. Reimer's hit 4 home runs since his call-up from Brooklyn with the Rumble Ponies. 4 doubles to go along with those 4 home runs. 0-2 pitch to him here. Started and stopped, but he did not stop. He goes around and he comes up empty. Strike three, and Jack Dallas ends up striking out the final 2 batters of the 8th, and the Rumble Ponies in the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Insurance gathering time for the Fight Phils as we head to the bottom of the 8th. They lead it 4-3. Subway is a proud 2025 Fight Phil's team feed partner offering sustainable, locally sourced ingredients and fresh, high-quality food at affordable prices with locations throughout Berks County, including 1193 Berkshire Boulevard in Wyomissing. Subway combines fast, friendly service with made-to-order options. Visit Subway.com to find a location or place an order today at Subway. Alongside Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. Fight Phil's at the plate here in the bottom half of the 8th. And Nunez, who came on to finish up the 7th, back out there to pitch the 8th for the Rumble Ponies, and facing Hendry Mendez, who takes the first pitch from the right-hander outside for ball 1. Mendez has been on base twice in this game, singled and safe on an error. Came around to score as well. No, he did not come around to score. He stopped at third base. And he fouls this one away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Mendez to be followed by Paul McIntosh and Caleb Ricketts. That's 3, 4, and 5 in the Rumble Ponies lineup, or the Phillies lineup. Now ball got loose from the pool deck. Ryan Clifford had to toss it back up. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Hendry Mendez. 3 runs on 7 hits and a very costly error for the Rumble Ponies. 4 runs on 7 hits, no errors for the Fightins. 1-1 pitch to Hendry Mendez. There for a called strike 2. And just reached out and slapped it down the third base line for a base hit. Mendez will take a big turn and will stop there as DeAndre Smith gets it back into the infield. But Hendry Mendez with his 2nd hit of the ball game and the Fight Phil's 8th hit overall.
I mean, Henry Mendez just hits. That's been his MO pretty much all year. We've seen kind of the power, the extra base capabilities kind of come up as well this year. But, yeah, I mean, he just hits, and it's so fun to watch.
Again, was not with the Phils after the All-Star break for the 3-game series against Portland, but they right back into that 3-hole. And here comes a guy, speaking of hitting, comes Paul McIntosh, who springs his lumber to the plate. 1 for 3 in a day with an RBI double his last time up. McIntosh, since the All-Star break, now 8 for 15. 1-0 pitch to him. Up and in again, it's 2-0. And of those 8 hits for McIntosh, 5 of them doubles and a home run to go with it. As Mendez takes his lead off of first. Phil's lead at 4-3 and looking for some insurance here. Late swing there by McIntosh and just squirts it foul.
I mean, he's been on another planet right now. Was 7 for 12 last week and 4 doubles, 4 RBIs, and a home run. Has a double today, drove in a run. After having 4 RBI this past weekend over 3 games.
2 balls and a strike to him. It's outside, it's 3-1. Yeah, from a lineup construction standpoint, you don't generally want to put both your catchers in the same lineup. With McIntosh serving as the DH, but you also can't take his bat out of the lineup. 3 balls and 1 strike to Paul McIntosh. Pickoff attempt. Mendez doesn't have much of a lead. He dives back in.
McIntosh hitting .307. Wasn't that long ago he was hitting in the mid-200s.
Nunez winds and delivers and fouled straight back by McIntosh. Runs the count 3 balls and 2 strikes.
On June 21st, 12 games ago for McIntosh, which was actually when this on-base streak started for him, he was hitting .230. He's hitting .217 before that. Now he's at the .307.
3-2 pitch. Low ball 4. So the Phils get the first 2 men on base. The second walk surrendered by Binghamton pitchers today. Fightins have not walked a batter. Fightin pitchers have not walked a batter. And that'll bring Caleb Ricketts to the plate. 2 on, nobody out. Looking at the bullpen, Jake, and nobody's actually.
And Andrew Bechtold did start throwing.
I guess.
I think he's waiting until there's 1 out.
I guess you're
because certain guys know how much time they need to warm up. So I think he's just kind of waiting until there's an out recorded. Or maybe he'll throw a little bit during this at-bat in case there is a double play hit.
Mendez at second, McIntosh at first, nobody out. First pitch to Caleb Ricketts is down low for a ball. Yoander Suarez started for the Rumble Ponies. He was followed by Daniel Juarez, and now Anthony Nunez is in the pitch, the third pitcher for the Rumble Ponies. 1-0 pitch to Ricketts. Way out in front of the off-speed pitch, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Way outside, it's 2-1. Both Jet Williams in center and Ryan Clifford in right both have good arms, but they're also both very deep. Clifford even more so than Williams. As the runners take their lead off of second and off of first, and a 2 balls and 1 strike count to Caleb Ricketts. Taps it the right side, backhanded by LaRusso. The flip to second for 1. The relay is not in time. Ricketts safe at first, and Mendez moves up to third base. Runners at the corners and 1 out.
Yeah, I mean, they do get McIntosh at second, but it kind of does do a job. They do move Mendez to third, and then you would love second and third here, 1 out, but first and third, 1 out you'll take. Campbell, basically just don't hit into a double play here is kind of the big thing. If you can get something elevated in the outfield or I mean base hit, that helps too.
Mendez at third, Ricketts at first, Campbell 0 for 3 on the day, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. And first pitch to Campbell's up high for a ball. Infield back, hoping that they can turn that double play and end this inning. Campbell does run well. Nunez winds and delivers. Broken bat. The bat went down the third base line. The ball went towards the first base dugout. And Dylan Campbell desperately needs a new piece of wood. Barrel actually split down the middle.
Henry Mendez picked it up, handed it to Al Padrique.
Said, look at this, Skip.
I was like, what do you want me to do with that? So one bat boy takes the full bat back to the Reading dugout. The other bat boy takes the broken part to the Binghamton dugout.
Just shrapnel everywhere.
So bring it together, get some hot glue. Not saying you'd reuse it, but.
Like I said, the piece of the bat went one direction, the ball went the other. And so it's a 1-ball and 1-strike count to Dylan Campbell. Nunez working from the stretch. Delivers. Little foul tip in and out of the glove of Suero, and it's 1-2 to Campbell. Pretty defensive swing there from Dylan Campbell. Bottom half of the 8th. Phils have a 4-3 lead and looking for more. Andrew Bechtold set to come in to pitch the 9th. Pitch to the plate. Way up high. It's off of Suero's glove. Here comes Mendez. He will score without a problem. Ricketts moves up to second base, and on the what I think might be a pass ball is going to be another run for the Phils.
Yeah, we'll see what it gets called. That's one that
it was up high.
Yeah, Suero should have had.
Yeah, it wasn't that high. I don't think Mendez really saw where the ball was.
No, Mendez kind of stood still, and I think Al Padrique is like, go.
So did you, by the way.
I was waving him too, but that's a huge run.
Yeah, it is.
Huge run at this state of the game.
So the Phils lead now is 2 at 5-3, and another one in scoring position. And now Suero out to talk to Nunez, so maybe he got crossed up.
It is a pass ball.
Yeah.
That's been the second on Suero, and he's only been with Binghamton for 3 games. So 2 pass balls in 3 games for Suero.
Yeah, I mean, again, as Jake said, he's just been promoted from Brooklyn, so he's still getting to know these pitchers. And he has had multiple conversations with each of them over the course of their time on the mound. And now he's back behind the plate. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dylan Campbell. So now Ricketts is at second base with 1 out. A run across. Campbell lifts this one straight up, shallow right field. In comes Williams. The center fielder will call for it, and he'll make the catch. And Ricketts has to stay put.
Definitely would not have been deep enough either to score Mendez. So good thing for that pass ball.
That brings Nick Dunn to the plate. Dunn changed the complexion of this game around considerably with a solo home run to lead off the 7th inning and tie the ball game up. Phils would get another run in that inning to take the lead. They've added on here. They lead at 5-3. And Dunn, who is now 2 for 3 on the day at the box. Also singled back in the 2nd. First pitch to him is there for strike 1.
Big home run from Nick Dunn back in the 7th, as you said. Tied the game up. Reading got another run in the inning to take the lead, and then, of course, the insurance run here in the 8th. Reading has scored in 3 straight innings, 2 straight 2 spots, and then a 1 spot here in the 8th.
0-1 pitch to Dunn. Down low for a ball. There is some action in the Binghamton bullpen as well. Nunez about to deliver his 28th pitch since coming on. 1-1 pitch. It's inside. It's 2-1. So is this maybe the last batter for Nunez if he can't get Nick Dunn here?
I can see it. I mean, it's a righty warming up, so it's not a lefty-righty matchup thing. And Nunez had 28 pitches.
2-1 pitch. Lifted straight up behind home plate and out of play. It's 2-2. Because theoretically, I mean, why get a guy up with 2 outs here in the 8th? Unless you're going to bring him in. You'd prefer to save that arm if you could. We'll find out one way or another with Dunn at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Way outside, now the count's full. Ricketts takes his lead off of second. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Dunn. That's outside, ball 4. So Dunn works the walk. Second walk in the inning for Nunez, and we'll find out shortly if that's the end of the line or not, as Alex Pinellas comes to the plate.
Now looking at Reed Brignac in the third base dugout, doesn't look like he's moving at all.
Nope. So Pinellas, who singled his last time up at the plate, 1 for 3 on the day. 2 on, 2 out. Run across, bottom of the 8th. And a 5-3 Fightin' Phil's lead. First pitch to Pinellas on the outside corner, strike 1. So Andrew Bechtold, who got the save in Saturday's game, going to come on to pitch the 9th inning. 0-1 pitch. Lined into right field, and it's going to be a base hit. They're going to wave Caleb Ricketts around. Clifford up with the throw. He's throwing to third base, and they will get the trail runner, Nick Dunn, but the run does count. So the run comes across. It'll be an RBI single for Alex Pinellas, but the third out is recorded at third base. Not on a good base running play again by the Fightin' Phils, but they do get another run across. They get 2 runs in the inning. They do it on 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 left. We head to the top of the 9th. Winning time in baseball town. Fightin' Phils lead at 6-3. We head to the top half of the 9th inning, and as we talked about in the bottom half, it'll be Andrew Bechtold who come in to try to pick up the save. If so, it'll be the 3rd of the season for Bechtold. He's 2 out of 3 in save opportunities, 0-3 overall in the year with a 3.90 earned run average. His 29th appearance of the year, 30 innings pitched, 31 hits, 40 strikeouts, and 18 walks. He needs 3 outs in the Phils to take game 1 of this series and be at the 500 mark for the latest that they've been at 500 in the now 3rd season for Al Pedrique here in Reading. And from a calendar year standpoint, according to the notes of one at Jake Starr, it's the latest in the season since 2019. But the Binghamton Rumble Ponies will send Kevin Parada, Chris Suero, and Nick LaRussa to the plate here in the top half of the 9th inning. And the first pitch from Bechtold is over for a called strike. Tonight's attendance at FirstEnergy Stadium, 6,263. Thanks to our friends at PSECU for presenting today's attendance. PSECU, proud to be one of the largest credit unions in Pennsylvania. And Bechtold follows up strike 1 with a called strike 2 to Parada, who now calls timeout. Parada 1 for 3 with an RBI single back in the 4th inning. Parada, the designated hitter for the Rumble Ponies today, swings and misses at strike 3 as Parada goes chasing after this 3rd strike, and Bechtold comes in and picks up right where Jack Dallas led off. Dallas goes 2 innings, did not give up a hit or a run, obviously, and no walks and 3 strikeouts, and Bechtold comes in and strikes out Kevin Parada for out number 1. That'll bring up Chris Suero. And the first pitch to him is on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Suero 0 for 3 on the day, 1 for 11 since his call up from Brooklyn. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch. Had him way out in front. It's no balls and 2 strikes. So Bechtold just filling up the strike zone right now, and that's exactly what he did on Saturday. Came in throwing strikes and was able to put the Portland Sea Dogs down in that 3-0 victory. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Suero goes down swinging. That's 2 strikeouts for Bechtold, and that's exactly what he did against Portland. That is 5 straight strikeouts recorded now for Bechtold. He struck out the side in the 9th. He struck out the first 2 here in the 9th as Nick LaRusso will come to the plate. Last chance for the for the Rumble Ponies. First pitch, swinging and fouls it straight back. Healthy cut for LaRusso, who's 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout back in the 3rd. Couple of fly balls to Dylan Campbell in center field, his other 2 times at the plate. No balls and a strike. Bechtold misses outside the first ball that he has thrown in the inning. That's his 8th pitch, and the first that is not a strike. So it won't be an immaculate inning for Andrew Bechtold. 1-1 pitch, tapper, 1-hopper right back to him. Bechtold will toss it to Benelis at first base, and that quickly the inning comes to an end, and so too does the ball game. For the Rumble Ponies in the 9th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. The Reading Fight Phils with a comeback victory in Game 1 of this series. They win it by a final score of 6-3. We'll take a timeout. We get back on Reading Fight Phils Radio Network with our White Star Travel postgame show right after this. Today's postgame show is presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fight Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more information. Well, a good start to this series, and a good times keep rolling for the Reading Fight Phils as they win their 3rd of 4 games since the All-Star break, and now go to 11-11 in the second half of the season. They take down the Binghamton Rumble Ponies again. Binghamton won the first half and was in first place so far in the second half. And the Phils win this one today in a comeback fashion by a final score of 6-3. So good job, good pitching all around continues for the Fightin' Phils. They have had that. They had that through the 3-game series against Portland. And timely hitting as well continued for the Phils. Good pitching, timely hitting will win you a lot of ball games. And so the Fightin' Phils winning 3 out of 4 so far on this homestand. And it obviously will continue now as this series will continue right up and through Sunday. So the Fightin' Phils with a victory today of 6-3. We'll take a timeout on our White Star Travel postgame show. We'll come back. We'll give you the rundown of the scoring and a recap of the rest of today's game and set you up for the remainder of the series as well, all when we continue here on the Reading Fightin' Phils Radio Network. Welcome back to our White Star Travel postgame show. Again, the Reading Fightin Phillies with the win today by a final score of 6-3. Matchup of right-handers in this ball game with Yoander Suarez getting the start for the Binghamton Rumble Ponies and Esteban Jimenez getting the start for the Reading Fightin Phils. And Jimenez was excellent through the first 3 innings, did not give up a hit, retired the Binghamton Rumble Ponies in order through the first 3 innings, and it changed, and the game changed around in the 4th inning when the Rumble Ponies struck first, and it was the top of the order, Jet Williams, who got it started with a double, followed up by a DeAndre Smith single, put runners at the corners. Ryan Clifford followed that up with a double. That scored Jet Williams, put runners at second and third with nobody out. Jimenez was then able to strike out Jacob Reimer. Kevin Parada with the infield up, slapped one through the left side for a base hit. That scored DeAndre Smith. And then Jimenez was able to work out of any further trouble in that inning, leaving another runner on third base, and ultimately got out of that, giving up just 2 runs. The Rumble Ponies added on in the 5th inning, and this time it was started by an opposite field single from the 8-hole hitter William Lugo. Jimenez able to strike out Wyatt Young, the 9-hole hitter, and then the top of the order, Jet Williams, in a high fly ball into left field, and Henry Mendez misjudged initially. Didn't look like it was hit all that well, but it just kept on carrying for Mendez. He actually broke in on it initially, then had to scramble back to the fence, had the ball in his glove as he leaped up in the air and hit the back of his back, hit the fence and knocked the ball loose. It goes as a double for Jet Williams, but runners at second and third and 1 out. And then DeAndre Smith with the infield up hit a ground ball right at the shortstop, Aiden Miller. He threw home. They run down and get the lead runner, Lugo, at third base. And in a position to maybe get out of that, but then Ryan Clifford comes up and slaps a single through the right side for a base hit. His second RBI of the game as Williams comes across for what was the 3rd run of the game. And the Rumble Ponies led it 3-0 at that point in time. Jimenez came back out for the 6th and got the Rumble Ponies in order, 1-2-3. So Esteban Jimenez in his 5th start, all in all, not a bad performance. 6 innings, he gave up 7 hits, 3 runs. All 3 of them earned no walks and 7 strikeouts. And so the no walks was a big piece of this puzzle again for the Fightin Phils pitching staff as that continued as we get into the bullpen, which we'll talk about in a moment. But it was a 3-0 game with the Phils coming to the plate in the 6th inning. At that point in time, Reading only had 2 hits in the game, and they were both 2-out singles, 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 2nd. Yoander Suarez was kind of motoring through the Phils batting order at that point in time. With 1 out in the 6th, Aiden Miller came to the plate, and Miller, who had an extra base hit taken away on a nice play by DeAndre Smith in left field his first time up. This time hit a sinking line drive into left field, and Smith almost took another one away from him, but he comes up empty on this one on the diving attempt, and Aiden Miller got himself a double, and that broke an 0-for-14 run for Aiden Miller going back to the beginning of the Portland series, and Miller was on second base. It was also the end of the day for Yoander Juarez as they brought in Daniel Suarez to pitch because he's left-handed, and there was a bunch of lefties in the Phils lineup today, starting with Carson DeMartini, who was the next batter, but he hit DeMartini to put runners at first and second and 1 out. Al Padrique sent both runners in motion in Miller and DeMartini, and on the play, Henry Mendez hit a ground ball right at the second baseman, William Lugo, who bobbled it. That allowed Aiden Miller to come all the way around to score on the play, and the Phils were on the board. On the play, DeMartini moved up to third base. Mendez safe at first with Paul McIntosh at the plate. He hits a ground ball down the third base line that was fair for a double. An RBI double brings in DeMartini, and Paul McIntosh with his 5th double since Friday and his 5th RBI as well since Friday night. He continues to swing a hot bat. The Phils had cut it to a 3-2 game, and that was all they were able to get in that inning, but they were right back in it at 3-2. Jack Dallas came on to pitch a 1-2-3 7th inning, and then in the bottom of the 7th inning, Nick Dunn led it off with Juarez still in the game to face three lefties due up for the Phils in the 7th inning. Nick Dunn, the first of those lefties, drives one to right field for a home run onto the pool deck. Nick Dunn's second home run of the season, the 4th RBI of the year for the veteran left-handed hitter, and the Phils had tied the ball game up at 3-3. They were not done. Those left-handers continued. Pinellas, the next one up, he singled. Leandro Pinedo then followed that up with a single of his own to put runners at first and second. Let me correct myself. On the single up the middle by Pineda, Pinellas tried to go to third base and was gunned down by Jet Williams on the throw out at third base. So there was one out in the inning with Pineda on board. Aiden Miller then walked. Pineda had gotten to third base, and with that, Carson DiMartini at the plate lifted a fly ball to right field for the sacrifice fly that allowed Pineda to tag up and score. And the Fightin' Phils had taken the lead for the first time at 4-3. Reading able to then add on for some insurance in the 8th inning. Adrian Mendez led it off with a single. Followed that up with a walk to Paul McIntosh. Caleb Ricketts then on a ground out on the fielder's choice. They get McIntosh at second. Ricketts safe at first. Mendez moves up to third base after a fly, and then on a pass ball, Mendez able to score the one added insurance run. And then with Ricketts at second base, Nick Dunn then walks. Alex Pinellas then drives home Ricketts with a base hit, and the Phils added another piece of insurance to the puzzle to make it a 6-3 game. They brought in Andrew Bechtold to pitch the 9th inning, and Bechtold struck out the first two batters and then got Nick LaRusso on a one-hopper right back to him for the final out. So the Fightin' Phils bullpen, Jack Dallas for the 7th and 8th, and Andrew Bechtold for the 9th, pitches a 9-up, 9-down side. And the Fightin' Phils pitching, with Jimenez included in that, retired the final 13 batters they faced for the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. So they really shut Binghamton down after the Rumble Ponies got that third run in the 5th inning. So, again, Jimenez continues to evolve as a starting pitcher, and he has continued to get better against a really good lineup in Binghamton. And he ultimately goes 6 innings, 7 hits, as I said, 3 runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. So the Fightin' Phils pitching with a combination of Jimenez, Dallas, and Bechtold strikes out 12 in the game and did not walk up batter, giving up the 7 hits, and that is it. So all in all, good job, good pitching, and again, good timely hitting. And it leads to a victory for the Phils. Game played in 2 hours and 19 minutes. Played in front of 6,263. For the Fightin' Phils, 6 runs on 9 hits, no errors. They left 5 on base. For the Rumble Ponies, 3 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and they left 4 men on base. Jack Dallas gets the win. He's now 1-1. Daniel Juarez takes the loss. He's 0-2. And Andrew Bechtold picks up the save, his 3rd of the year. The Rumble Ponies with the loss fall to 14-8. They are now 59-30 overall on the season. The Fightin' Phils at 500 for the deepest part of the season for a long time. In the second half, they are now 11-11 on the year. Back at it tomorrow night here at FirstEnergy Stadium. 7 o'clock is first pitch. Gene Cabrera will get the start for the Reading Fightin' Phils. The Rumble Ponies have not yet named their starter for tomorrow's game 2 of this series. So again, Reading 3 out of 4 now in this homestand, and this homestand will continue with 5 more against the Rumble Ponies tomorrow night again at 7 o'clock. The rest of the week at 7 o'clock right up and through Friday. And, of course, fireworks to follow on Friday. Then Saturday, 6:45 with fireworks to follow as well. It's Harry Potter night and a Mug of Blast fireworks as well on Saturday. And, of course, Sunday's series finale at 5:15. And the Philly Fanatic will be on board for that one as this series wraps up between the Phils and Rumble Ponies. But it's off to a good start with the Phils winning the ball game today. That's going to do it for our coverage. Thanks to Jacob Wilkins, the play-by-play voice of the Binghamton Rumble Ponies, for being Jake's guest on our pregame show. The manager, Al Padrique, will join Jake tomorrow on the pregame show at 6:45 on our flagship 830 WEEU.com. You can hear all of Fightin' Phils baseball at that spot. for free at 830WEU.com. And speaking of which, the Phillies and the Boston Red Sox will be on the radio tonight on WEU, 8:30 a.m. Phils and Red Sox at 6:45. Christopher Sanchez goes for the fight for the Philadelphia Phillies as they look to try to take a second straight against Boston tonight, again at 6:45 on WEU in Reading. That will do it for our broadcast. For my broadcast partner, Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. Thanks for listening to Reading Fightin' Phils Radio. Hope you'll do it again tomorrow night. Again, Jake will have the pregame show at 6:45. First pitch is at 7 between the Phils and the Binghamton Ponies. And as always, love to see you here at the ballpark as the Reading Fightin' Phils win it today by a final score of 6-3. Have yourselves a great afternoon and evening, everyone. We'll talk to you tomorrow night right back here in Baseball Town.